in the room. Come on in the room, you guys. This is the Gilded Age season 3 live that we'll be doing until season 4, y'all. What is happening in life right now? I don't know how to feel, you guys, but welcome. Happy Monday. I pray everyone had the most amazing day. And I see y'all are already being petty in the comments. Dread Shinobi, I see you. Justice for Bertha. Never, never, never. I drank her tears last night. Do you hear me? I reveled in them. I loved every single minute of her anguish. I was here for it. But before we get into all of those things, Tyra, welcome. Happy Monday. How are you, friend? And are you ready to get into it?
I am definitely ready. I wasn't ready to leave yet. Okay? What is this cute, 8 episode situation? Down by law, Gilded Age just needs to give us 10. I'm not even asking for 12. 10 episodes, I would have been solid. I feel left. I feel bamboozled. I feel led astray. I feel led on because we decide to just really cook for season 3. Every single episode this season was immaculate. And then we get here and it's just over. And we have to wait how long for the next season? Play it in my face. Play it in my face.
Tyra said we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah.
That's what she said, y'all. We bamboozled, led astray, run amok. All of the things, and I agree. This was by far and away the best season of the Gilded Age, and we saw so many new people come through to actually watch this season, which is incredible as well. I do want to take a quick moment just to say thank you because this has been a whole thing, a whole community, a whole new group of people have come to the channels, and we both just want to let you know how much we appreciate the support and you guys clocking in every Monday night to come and hang with us. It means the world to us. But let's say hello, and we are going to get right into the finale of the things. Hey, Vic, she's present. Listen, they know. Listen, Vic is like, yeah, I'm not here to get fined. And hit the like button. We appreciate it. Hey, Quinn Too Pretty. That was an awesome season finale. Let's dish. You know we're going to. You know we're going to. Hey, Tremaine. Hey, sis. Hey, Unartha. I hope you're having an amazing Monday. Hey, pretty girl. What's going on, Danny? Hey, Dread Shinobi. Even though you want the smoke. Even though you want the smoke, it's fine. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Vic says, I'm not crying. You're crying. I don't want to wait another 2 dang years for season 4. Talk about it. But we'll have Interview in the Vampire to comfort us and console us in 2026 at least. Hey, Roxy SDG. Hello, my Gilded Agers. Hey. Hey, Tony T. What's good? Hey, Anakin, not Vader. Hey, everyone. Be sure to leave a likey like. Please do that. How could you not at least tear up? I don't know who didn't cry because Ashley was crying big girl tears over here. Vic says, because it's over. We got to wait a long time now. I know. Hey, Karina. I actually watched my first episode last night. Oh, that's right. You came over within just like that. So this is a new world. Enjoy it. It's going to be such a good journey.
Support it. They ain't even watched it. That's love right there. Thank you so much.
Hey, Belinda. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Pamela. Episode was everything and was. Hey, Duchess. Hey, from San Diego. I know that's right. Daddy Russ ain't leaving. That's just that laudanum talking, Lord. They done gave that man a habit. They done gave the beard a habit, Jesus. Hey, Sean. Train Daddy Chicken George finally left Big Bertha and did, but for how long? Let's see. I just want to make sure I've caught everybody. Hey, Ariel. Good to see you. Hey, Kizzy. I couldn't wait for this conversation. Neither could we. Hey, Greta, what's good? Hey, Sitzy. I'm at Central Market watching, period. Hey, Jessica. Guys, I was shook. Bertha and George are both wrong. Now, Queen, you're not wrong. You right, Queen. But I feel how I feel. We're going to get into it. And hey, Taylor Danae Harris, good to see you. I think I got everyone. Tyra, you know where we begin. Every single week. We start right over here. And just a heads up, PSA, any chance you get to show Bertha crying, there will be a slide for it. I think almost every picture I use of her in the slide deck tonight is her crying, making this exact same face. So that's the petty in me. You know what I'm saying? It's not on me, it's in me. So there's that. But Tyra, overall thoughts. You can give me overall thoughts of the finale itself and then of the season as a whole.
Girl, you are petty for this. She was giving Rose, come back, please, George. This episode, girl, this episode was so grand and opulent. It was so rich and vibrant. I was like, ooh. The universe is always lived in, and costume is always kind of costuming. A lot of shows, have to be a period piece to world build, and this one definitely checks the box. I thought this episode was so beautiful. The tracking shot Sally was doing, because y'all know Sally Richardson. She pulled up the camera. So she said, I'm gonna do this one just like I did the previous episode. And I think she did a fabulous job. Like there were so many shots. One shot in particular where we have Mama Mama Kirkland. All right, Heidi. We have Mama Kirkland like in the mirror, and we have Peggy's mom like in an adjacent like continued shot, and they're going off. I was like, "Girl, Sally, you better work." So I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Sally. I thought it was so great. But the balls, like the final shots when we went in between, like we were coinciding, going back and forth between conversations and balls and dancing and gowns, and it wasn't confusing. It was just so consistently great. I was like, Sally, girl, you better go off. The season, girl, before we get I just want to say, Bertha, God damn it, Bertha. I was like, Bertha, I'm rooting for you. And y'all know I can't stand Bertha either. But Bertha, I was rooting for you. The moment Bertha sat there and we couldn't take two deep breaths before, well, you should probably go on and have your ball. Oh, well, yeah, let me get right on that. I was like, Bertha, no. I said, Bertha, no. I yelled at Martina and Bertha, no. You're supposed to say, oh, no, George. Nothing's more important than you right now. Away with that ball, away with appearances. I was like, Bertha, no. But the season has been great. The season has been really, really good, Ashley. Like, maybe I need them to come correct with the fourth one and not have that long wait. I mean, it is great, so I know greatness takes time, but the way that they executed this season, not one episode was wasted. A lot of TV we're watching now, we're like, okay, this is giving filler, this is giving a waste of time. We're not evolving anywhere with the characters. And if you've been here the entire time, we have discussed maybe what may be like small qualms with the series, like very small nitpicky things about the progression of some characters, which they kind of brought full circle here with this last episode. But overall, this was exceptional. Like, I'm very proud of the show because you know where I started. I said, Ashley, believe. And I'm here. I'm like, girl, I am sad. This season is immaculate.
Absolutely. It's been an amazing ride. And I still remember the conversation. Is that those powdered wigs? Or is that over there with them powdered wig people, Ashley? Are you sure about this? Yes. I love the Gilded Age. And they came and they stood and delivered. Overall thoughts of the season, again, I really do think that this is the best in the entire series thus far. Not only from just a storyline standpoint, I thought the narrative was very cohesive and really beat for beat this season, whereas in earlier seasons, it was a bit dragged, a bit delayed. And even if you look at the progression from like a penultimate episode to a finale, you'll see the maturity in the series. Like we talked about this before, Tyra and I, that a lot of times it takes almost 3 or 4 seasons for a cast to really find their groove and their chemistry and like the dynamic. And I really do think that that was evident in this season. Now, as far as the episode, you know what I'm here for. I need you to deliver. I need you to check my boxes, and then I need you to have me still thinking about what's next. And they did that perfectly. They didn't do too much. They didn't do too little. It was subtle. It was nuanced, and it was just enough. I give it, season 3 is a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't give that lightly, but like Tyra was saying, from the visuals, my favorite directed scene tonight had to be the Kirkland ball, and Peggy and the jump shots back and forth between Dr. Kirkland looking at her and him cutting in and her faltering, like, oh my God, like even the shoulder, even the sleeve of her dress coming down, like it was just so subtle and beautiful, and she looked amazing. They know how to light black folks over here. They know how to do black folks makeup over here. They know how to do wardrobe over here. They know how to do complementary colors over here. I'm gushing, Tyra, because I could go on.
No, it was. That was the thing that popped out. I was like, Peggy's skin looks beautiful. And I love how she popped so much with there being such a complex in conversation around her skin color. And she was, maybe of a darker hue just in the place. And they popped her all. I was like, look at Peggy. She looks so good. Sally, show up. Yes,
Yes. And you know that Sally Richardson, I don't know if you guys saw it. If you're following us on socials, I think we both posted the Deadline article that Sally has just inked a brand new deal. So she has more shows and movies coming after this. So be on the lookout for Sally Richardson and her future endeavors because listen, she don't miss at this point. So y'all know the drill. We're going to go character by character as always, and then we'll get into the events of the actual finale. But now, Tyra, we get to have really a well-rounded talk about it. Let's start over here with Miss Peggy Scott. I want to know growth over the season and where you're at with Miss Scott as of last night's episode.
girl. Now, you already know, as much as I love Miss Scott, I felt like we did a disservice to her character with her being in the quote unquote, I said it, mama, the slave quarters, on down at the house. The Fortes, they have brought her out so much. And I love that it's her. We do have a man here, but unlike when we had her sneaking with the deacon, it was so much mess surrounding his dynamic and the marriage and the kind of sneakiness of it. And I think the most boisterous thing we got there is that just position of, well, I'm a Brooklyn old girl and oh, I can't do and say as I please here in the deep down South. But as far as her like flourishing as a character, maybe this is the most. So much of that was just wrapped up in was it Mr. Washington? Am I saying it right? Is it Washington? What's his name? No, Mr. Fortune. Mr. Fortune. All of that. It was just all him and not enough Peggy for me. And even with when it wasn't him, it was mostly surrounding her trauma based on, what daddy did and why she didn't want to go home. Hence, we keeping her, refined to those quarters, and I'm working for Ada and Agnes, and that's it. And we didn't really just get there. Maybe we got there with Peggy. We got there in a major way. I feel like she just come such full because I was like, can we just please? And I know that it would be it wouldn't be mindful for us to just feel like, okay, we want y'all to stay in Newport and we're going to focus on the blacks and we're going to focus on Peggy and we just going to see Felicia Rashad. No, we already knew that, but I don't think it was asking a lot to maybe bring her full circle, not in just a romantic sense with a love interest, but her career and what drives her and what makes Peggy Peggy. Oh, it was
Yeah.
here. It was here, and we got those things tenfold. This party to me was very reminiscent of that last season 2, when we saw them on the rooftop party, and it was like, man, we just got a little bit of that rooftop party. We didn't even get to linger in these illustrious blacks. I wonder if we'll ever get back there. And they gave that to us tenfold. I love this for Peggy. I wanted Peggy to win. I wanted that man to hold her down. I was like, I feel it, Peggy. I told y'all, all you naysayers who said Mr. Kirkland wasn't ish. He's a good man, Savannah. I love that she won in every single light. And even though it was left off in such a positive way, with Peggy, in a sense, getting everything she wanted, we know that there is more drama and a hot mess to come because who's attached to her getting everything she wanted. It's going to be
Yeah.
cute. Way to go, Peggy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And just to kind of piggyback on that, this isn't the end of the conversation with her past. I think now it's just like we're getting the license where I can feel safe and I can really tell you, which I think was the whole beauty of her evolution. We've seen Peggy kind of go from reclusive and hurt and just kind of like, I'm going to stay in my little corner in my own little chair. I can be wherever I want to be, right? And now we're seeing her that no matter what, because we really have to think about how much strength and courage it would take for you to get up, pack up your stuff, go with your family to a place where you knew everyone knows your past. Everyone knows your biggest, darkest, dankest secret. Still put that ish on and show up like you're just the baddest. Like, I think that took so much courage and wherewithal. And of course, it speaks to Mama Scott and really pouring into her child. But I loved how Danae portrayed Peggy this episode because I felt like there was a vulnerability that we hadn't really seen touched in this way. We've seen Peggy cry, we've seen her grieve before, but that moment where she's like, it's over, mama, like it's over and I'm broken and there's nothing else that I can do. This was my choice, right? This was my adult grown woman choice. This was a good man, Savannah. And because I did X, Y, or Z, now I'm not worthy. And then we'll get to that. I have a slide for it. But just the reinforcement, like you're enough. outside of all of that and her packing it up even with tears because she looks sick, honey, baby. When we get to Newport, Peggy is they're like she going through it. But when she shows up at the ball, it just goes to me to show the resiliency of Black women. And I think that this just modeled it perfectly. Chef's kiss to Miss Scott in her journey. I too was with you, Tyra, because where was the book at? Where's the pages? Where's this
Yeah,
career? Where are we
yeah.
moving? And we saw the beautiful progression. Like I'm doing my speeches. I'm a suffragist. Like, no, I want a family, kids, and I want the vote. We really got to see her stand on business and even take a hit and keep going. And I love that for all of us. Drop it in the chat, you guys. Let us know what you think of Peggy's progression, as we're going on. But let's get over here, Tyra. Auntie Ada. Auntie Ada said, listen, I run this now. All right. I'm seated in my power, in my authority, in my wisdom. I've taken off that cloak of sadness, and now I am marching in a new day. I'm the boss now. Ada stood up. Ada has stood up proudly these last 2 episodes. I think this is a trend. I hope it's only upwards for here. But if I'm honest, Tyra, there's a part of me that still don't trust it. Talk to me about Ada this season, her progression, and where do we go?
This is all I was waiting on. I was like, y'all better give it to us before the series end. Don't you have us going off with Ada in her all Black mourning era? It was great. This felt like a long time coming. It also felt a little. I feel like they tried my patience because Ada got all the sense in the world out of nowhere. I was like, Ada, please. No, we got a bit of it the previous episode with me getting what I wanted. Once she realizes and that facade is broken of her getting contact with Luca and this was never what it was, and let me just focus on the now and kind of move forward in his honor. I'm so glad that we're moving forward. I think it's going to stick. I think it's going to stick because unlike before, Ada has permission and she didn't need permission. But the fact that Agnes gave her the okay and gave her that seat at the table, it's like, well, okay. For Agnes to do that. Now, Agnes don't trust too much in nothing. For Agnes to do that means that she believes in Ada and what she can do. Like you can be in charge of the family, the funds. Like I think that boost is going to drive her even further than what we saw in this episode. I loved it. A part of me was like, man, if we could have got this Ada like at least, 4 episodes ago, we could have been cooking. Even, the process we'll get to with Agnes and stuff. We did linger in those things, and those maybe the smaller shortcomings in the season where we were like, okay, how long X, Y, and Z, and majority of that had to do with Ada and Agnes. I believe in Ada. I think if Agnes can believe in her, then we can too. I love the way that she moved this episode and how confident she was. We've never seen that from her.
Never. I was like, okay, girl. Now this little look with this hat, girl. But I do like her in the blue. She looks good over here, and I do think she's taking on some autonomy and some leadership. Right? It was like, no, I got this. I got this. Unartha, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Next season, Peggy's ex-husband shows up just to keep things difficult. He better not. He better not. Fortune better stay away, and Esias, whatever that little boy name is, he needs to stay away as well. We're not doing this. Nothing to ruin Peggy's happiness. Find somebody else.
I think that's the least of. I think it's going to be difficult enough just with Mama Kirkland on her own.
Oh yeah, but like I said, now he got a cute coin. We can live anywhere. I don't have to stay in New York. Like I have endeavors. I'm gonna open up a medical practice in Chicago. Child, get me away from you. Now. Over here, we got Auntie Agnes. Auntie Agnes even grew in this episode. When she said, go on, marry him and go and tell that man you was wrong. Oscar said, when have you told anybody you were wrong? She said, I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong. But no, even in her really acquiescing, to the point that no, Ada is the woman of the house now, right? And I think that really opened up the door for what we saw with Miss Foster after all that time. It wasn't about the cute coin. Like, we want your name. We want you to be a part of the organization. I think it was a beautiful transition. It was a way for Agnes to respectfully be able to let go of the reins. Honestly, this was the most humble I've ever seen Agnes. When she tells that lady, I just don't have it. Like, I don't have the means to support. I was like, girl, you saying that out loud? I was proud of Agnes. That's growth, right? The old Agnes would have taken that secret to her grave, but no, I can't pay you. Like, no, it's not even about that. What are you talking about? Oh God, no, we just want your name. We just want the Van Ryn name. I love that for them. I love the passing of the baton. I feel like going forward, this is going to mean something new. Maybe Agnes can take on the suffragist rights or anything she's passionate about, and Ada can fully claim her seat as head of the house and what that's going to look like in the Forte era. What do you think of Agnes this episode, and what do you think of her progression overall?
Girl, when Agnes turned them pockets inside out and said, I'm broke. Say, Agnes, I'm broke. Girl. Agnes said, I'm ass out, ma'am. I said, Agnes, yes. Now, I think we wanted something so nefarious as far as why that lady kept trying to get in contact with Agnes. Agnes has been the most disappointing character to me this season. And that's saying a lot because the season has been exceptional. But if we're going and we're being really anal about things, it was Agnes because I was like, okay, we lost the money. Now what? Is this going to be your narrative, Agnes? How long are we going to waddle in this? So I was so happy that they could take these last two episodes and kind of bring her out of that and push her further because we definitely did need to go into the second season with, oh, Jack got the money. We don't have anything. Okay, Agnes, we got it. Um, the humbling of Agnes has been an interesting thing to watch. I'm really looking forward to her being bold and humbled in this way because if we're kind of pushing and entrusting Ada and we have this opportunity, like will it open doors to other things? I think for so long she's had to carry the weight of the family. She was always talking about how much she sacrificed and it was a hard man and this, that, and the third. But now that you don't have, for lack of a better word, that those burdens anymore, and Oscar just as grown as he want to be, baby,
Yeah.
go out there and have your way. I think the potential of what she could do could be really, really great. So I'm happy to see her maybe getting out of the house and getting from. I've always, above all else, I've always wanted Ada and Agnes to have some space for themselves. I think we can get that next season.
Absolutely. And, times are changing. Not just, of course, we're seeing the transition as far as the events happening with these specific characters, but just in terms of industry and the times and expansion and all of those things. It's a really exciting time in American history for a lot of people. So it'll be really excited to see her walk into this VP role and see what she's going to do with it because she likes being the boss. Again, she's never wrong. So I think that this will be a perfect fit, honey. And she likes throwing that name around. She loves her name. Now let's get over here. Now listen, you said is Agnes was your great disappointment. Miss Brooke is my great disappointment. I about damn near gave up hope. And the only hope that I have now is that I think she's going to be Nurse Ratched. Like, I really think she's going to be an army nurse. I think that was her calling because the way she hopped on that table and put her finger in and said, I'll stop the blood. I said, well, Marian, find you something to do because it's not a man. A man is not what you want. But I was finally excited to see her do something. She's just been moving so awkwardly. We got some confessions throughout the season. Every man I've ever trusted has betrayed me. I don't really like men like that. I'm scared. I'm gun shy. Do I want to get married? Do I not? And again, these are the things that aren't being said, but what we as the viewer can only, impose or assume based on her actions. Because it's like, Marian, who are you? Do you know who you are at this point? You came as this self-assured, progressive woman, season one. We've seen you devolve into this like little hermit church mouse who don't want to say too much, honey, to now going along with the flow. But at the first sight of upset, it's over. I'm done with you. I'm throwing it away, back to these kind of extremes. I really wanted more for her. But again, this ended right where she wanted to be, Tyra, in limbo, not committed to anybody or anything. I think she left this season as happy as a lark. And I still, for whatever reason, am uncertain of the direction of her character moving forward. Unless they give her a real mission, put her in the war as a nurse, I don't see where we go with Marian. What do you think of Miss Brooke and her growth?
The war as a nurse is wild. That's the center over there. Miss
Give her
Brooke. Uh, Miss Brooke has not at all turned out the way that I thought she would or carry the weight. I think just because she was our vantage point when the show started and she was kind of our main introduction to everyone, we just expected more out of her. I don't know where we could be going with her because even with this episode, it's I mean we're dating, for the most part, and trying to find proper suitors. Like the way that Miss Brooke is so jaded at this point, and we haven't like technically been through the ringer, for lack of a better word, like with some of the more so couples, the up and downs that we've seen within the series. Like we didn't even get to that point. So I think that we ended off just where we needed to. Like, girl, when they went out there on, what was it, the terrace or just the backyard, wherever they were, I was like, hey, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And I was like, okay, cool. We ended where I feel like we needed to. Her being a nurse would definitely be an interesting thing. I want Marian to be whoever she needs to be. I just don't want to see it anymore in adjacent to a man. 3 times, we're done. And it's not to say that just may not have been her ministry. I think we're going to see her hopefully frolic and grow in a different space to where she realizes that's not what I want. I never thought that that was what she wanted, whether it was with Larry or anybody else.
Yeah. Read the comment, Tyra, and go ahead and
Said,
respond.
come on, Larry lied. Period. He went to a house of ill repute on the same night he proposed and lied about it. Stop with the gaslighting, Larry. Maybe if you know anybody, you know I can't stand Larry. I can't. I got some things to say about Larry, but
We got
like
him
we
next.
said, we've talked about so much with these characters in the midst of these lives, but I think that both Larry and Miss Brooke ended up where they needed to. They never needed to be together, in my opinion. And I don't think they even actually want to be. It's the mere expectation.
Yeah. And I don't find fault, and I'll say this again. We've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. I don't find fault with the fact that she was upset at the lie or finding out that he wasn't where he said he was. My exception with it, and my honestly just in disbelief about her true affection for him, was the Dear John letter without a conversation with the man. You ain't try to write that man on the wild frontier, and you didn't wait for him to get back to have a conversation. It was like, I'm done. And I really feel if you have a general affection, even as a friend, they're worth a conversation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't know if he gaslit her per se, because to me, he said, listen, I know you're not at fault all for this. Like, I can take responsibility for what I did, but you didn't even hear me out. Like, you wouldn't even talk to me. It was done. It was over. It was a wrap. And it just makes me question, again, be mad. Sure. That's not an issue. I'd be,
Oh
feel away
man,
too.
that was period. That was an excuse to do something that she didn't want to do in the first place. Like she
Yeah.
never wanted that with Larry. It was an easy way out of something that she does not want.
That's what I
Oh,
think. Yeah.
you in the picture, ma'am.
Every time. I told you, every single time Bertha's going to get this work. Because why? She deserves it. And here's another thing that I want to say, because we're going to get into it. And the people, I get on the TikTok, and the streets of TikTok are the wild, wild west. And I got to fight every night to prove my love. Here's the thing. Was Beard that connects on both sides complicit with marrying Gladys off? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Was he the mastermind? No. Okay, he was not. That was Bertha for her own selfish purposes. But also, he's been shot. When you get shot in 1884, you get a pass. That's your punishment. That's your crime, your punishment, your reaping, and your sowing. She ain't reaped nothing yet. That's why this hoe deserves every bit of tears that she gets. Now, how long the tears will last, I don't know, Tyra, but I was happy to see them fall. And here's the other thing. Let's not pretend that inviting the divorcees and all of that to the ball was just her good heart. No, baby. She sees the writing on the wall, and she's seen it there. I played the scene back at the ball the night before he walked out of her life, ragged his raggedy duffel bag, and walked about the mansion. I saw the look on his face after he said, I couldn't let Astor beat you out here. And he said, and it was known. It is known. It is known, all right? The North remembers, and it is known. She knew what it was. She invited them divorcees because she knows she's about to be a divorcee. Bertha is not a spring chicken, and she's not delusional. The only time I will give her an ounce of credit was when he said, "You're the mother of a duchess." That gave, we're trying to resurrect something. But that night, to me, it was plain, clear, and evident. But I ain't got it to do with her. I don't have it to do with him. I'm just glad the beard that connects is alive and well, Tyra, and we're going to see him in season 4 be fine. That's all.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say what I really want to say for those particular slides. But no, I am more twisted up with beard that connects on both sides than Bertha. Like, I I just don't have time. I don't have time for this game that George is playing. George is acting like up until this past episode, he has had rose colored glasses on as far as Bertha, her ambitions, her intention. He was looking and scowling at this woman like, oh my God, I finally see you for who you are. And I don't like who I'm sitting next to. Excuse me? You cannot tell me. I could see if we went into this with a narrative of, well, Bertha has changed so much. I remember when we were getting it out the mud, she was always blank, blank, blank. But now that we have all this wealth, she can only concentrate and focus on high society and getting ahead. No, this was who this woman was from jump. This is who she's always been. And he's over there acting like a victim. Like, yeah, you got, oh, she got me too. Oh, I got to save my children. George, please, shot or not, boy, if you don't get out of here, like, Bertha has been in the wrong so often. And we all knew watching those previous seasons, there were only going to be so many more times before their dynamic broke because she wasn't investing as much into her man or her marriage or her family as she was into high society and getting ahead. But you are not a victim, sir. You are not. Dare I say, if you got your head out of Bertha's ass and put your foot down, she would have been sad. Or she would have been knew the line. You allowed and let her cross it every single time, and were complacent in it as long as it benefited you. And now that things have been topsy-turvy, now that you've had this epiphany because you've been shot, all of a sudden Bertha and all her ill deeds are trash? Sir, please. And then it was like, when you walked her down the aisle, I did, and I'll never forgive her. Boy, George, if I had a brick, okay? If I had a brick, right, two to the chest, George. I just can't. I can't with him and this horse that he's riding off on. Like, I gotta part ways and get away from this because this is not what I want. Since when? Since when is this not what you want, George?
Don't a person have a right to change their mind? We were asking in the beginning of this season, all of us were saying, does she have blood magic on this man? There is no way. I want the beard that connects on both sides to stand up. I want him to stand up. I want him to put her away. At least that's what I wanted. I wanted him to do that immediately. No. And so now we mad the man that made a choice for his life?
You can stand up and put her away. We all wanted him to stand up. We all wanted to know what blood magic she was over there working on that man with that cauldron kitty cat. We wanted Wicked Kitty Cauldron Cat. We wanted to know. But there's a difference between putting your foot down and stepping into this is our purpose and who we are now, because this isn't happening again, then completely damn near trying to severance something. And I'm basically, it sounds like I'm moving into the guest house. You figure things out. I need to go away for a while. Like, I'm moving out. Like, excuse me, there's a big difference. He needs his space and his distance and whatever. I need to go figure out what I want to do all of a sudden. Oh, now you want to act like you want to contemplate a divorce? We all know beard that connects on both sides ain't going nowhere. This was a play, a power play. This was nothing but quote unquote, I don't gotta be here. You know I got options, right? You know I'm the one that provides the money, right? You know I'm the head of this family, right? You're getting too big for your britches, Bertha. Yeah, it was cool and it was big enough when it was benefiting you for her to sashay through those parties and get you into spaces and doors that you wanted and smooth this business person. But now I'm mud. Get out of my face.
I don't care. Listen, let me take this down really quick so I can say this and y'all can see my whole face. I don't give a single damn. Is he wrong? Yes. I won't deny it. Who's saying he right? I will never say he's right. How, by whatever means, she got to get this work. She got to get this work. And y'all said, oh,
No,
so Bertha got to be shot now?
no,
Absolutely. If she got shot, I'd forgive her. If she'd have
no,
been the one that walked by that got gunned down, I would forgive Bertha then, because I feel
no.
like those are your just
And then
desserts.
you know what pisses me off the most? He
What?
act like the whole heat of the world, like his main quarrel with Bertha was my daughter, my baby. How could you do this to Gladys? Gladys is now living her best life, pretty much. Gladys is now living her best life. So what's your beef now? You've always had a beef. Like, what's your beef now, George? Because Gladys is fine. Because you act like it was just that. She was like, well, see, George, she's happy. Yes, I see that. And I just, sure.
Well, he said it. He said, I've always admired your ruthlessness because
Mm,
it's like mine, except I'm ruthless in business and you're ruthless with the people that you love. It takes some people longer. Like I said, by whatever means she got to get this work, Tyra, she got to get it one way or the other. And it's not going to last long. She's a damn Cheshire cat. She's going to land on her feet. I don't know why everyone's complaining and crying about her. She'll be back up. She'll be back on top. That's what she
we
does.
know that. It's
You,
still Bertha. I just don't like this narrative of yes, George, I'm a victim. I've been led astray in this marriage. I finally see you for the wicked woman you are, and I don't want to be married to you anymore. I need time and space to think about things. George, please get out of my face.
Lord. Thank you, Unartha, for the $5 super chat. It's over for George and Bertha. He's not even mad at her anymore. He just fell out of love and ain't no coming back from that. And I'm okay with that too, because she deserves a good heartbreak as well. Because let's not be under any delusion that she knew this was going to be a good match with the Duke. Gladys just made it work. She just opened that cootie cat, she put it on him backwards, reverse cowgirl, and now he's sat and hooked and got rid of Sister Cersei. That's all that happened. He could have been a vile, terrible man, and then we'd be having a different conversation, but that's okay too. Also, I saw something and I wanted to grab it because they keep saying this and I can't handle this. This is what we're not going to do. We just got the beard that connects on both sides saved. We're not going to put him on laudanum. We're not going to have him be a crackhead in the 1800s. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I'm not going to deal with it. He's going to quickly wean himself off of this pain medication so he can get back to work. Tyra, do you have any theories on the laudanum and the drug addiction of it all?
I was hoping all of that was just to get through that night's function because he was still in pain. I don't think we got enough evidence that we could go into the fourth season with him having an addiction. But best believe if he does, Bertha's going to pull up with the cavalry to save him in the business.
Lord of mercy. But overall, I do enjoy both of these characters. As much as I can't stand Bertha and it's up forever, like it's stuck, it'll never change. I do enjoy her. I enjoy the ebbs and flows of her. I enjoyed where she was like, I don't care if he's purple. I don't care if he's black. Bring him over. Is he going to be able to save my husband? Like, while she is so callous and calculating on one side, I do love the way that she treats her staff. I love that way that she treats others. Anybody could get that work from Bertha. It's never personal. It's not about your ethnicity or your station in life. If you get it, you get it. And I respect her character for that. And honestly, these two have kept me most entertained, I think, throughout this whole series, seeing what their dynamic was going to be and what happened with them. I've enjoyed them both. Tyra?
I have. They deserve each other. Like I say, like this is yin and yang. That's why his grandstanding doesn't seem as grand because it's like, where are you going? And that's not to say that either one of them couldn't have viable options because Bertha hiding these streets. Everybody wants Bertha. Everybody knows, and so is George Russell. He's a good looking man. That could always be a thing. But who's going to have either one of you? Honestly.
Well, anybody will have him. It'll be a task to get her married off. Let's be honest. He's got the bag and he's got a full beard that connects.
Still in the old school days. Yes, somebody is, it's never going to be that, but I'm just talking about George could definitely find someone, but he comes with his own things that need to be taken and accounted for and tolerated as well. He's just acting like it's just all Bertha. She's the problem here. I was just making money for the family, minding my business.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, listen, now the way she was flirting and about to open that cat on the dinner table with Merrick, I mean, somebody might want Bertha too, after all said and done. I don't, it's a scandal. Easing on down the road to Gladys. Gladys is matured. She has on colors that complement her skin now. She's not looking haggard like the ghost of Christmas past. I enjoyed seeing her this episode. I like Gladys happy. I think that this is cute. She and the Duke enamored of each other. I'm here for that. All we ever wanted for you, Gladys, was to get a little bit of color in your skin and to be happy. That's all I wanted, for her to be treated well and for her to be living her best life. And it seems as though she's on the road to that. Go Gladys. This is a victory, Tyra. What are your thoughts on Gladys this season?
Or Gladys was once we got that evil wicked stepsister off the way. Gladys in the wardrobe has been cooking. She looks really good. I was like, yes, Gladys, because it was touch and go there. It was giving crimson pink. It looked really witchery. It didn't look good. She was matching the dinginess of that castle. I think she looks great. I am so happy that we didn't have to watch Gladys suffer. We
Yeah.
did not know what was coming with this Duke's intentions, and I was just hoping and praying. Like I said before, I really think it's that wicked stepsister, and it's not so much him. If we can depart from her, we can make some progress. They made way more progress than I ever thought they would in the season. I'll say that. I thought this would have taken time to maybe like fourth season. Well, it was X, Y, and Z before, but I've grown to really care and love him. No, we got that before this season even. It was like, yeah, it was something that the sister had a spell on him, but now that that's lifted, he can see Gladys for her worth and who she is. But by the time the Duke said, I don't care about what money. I don't care about that money. I don't want that money. I don't care. I'm trying to keep you, Gladys. I was like, oh, the intentions are really, really real, and I'm here for that. I'm very happy for Gladys and where things are going right now. Bertha's going to need that. It would have been which would really get us into the way that George decided to react. I could see if she was just miserable and just so unhappy. And it was just like, see what you've reduced our daughter to. You da 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 da. But it's not even that. She's comfortable. And the fact that she isn't suffering means that later on she could be some type of window of grace for Bertha, who's probably going to need it, just for a little while. But I'm really happy for Gladys and who she's becoming. Maybe in this episode, when Gladys said, I'm happy to go there and visit and see my family and check on my father. But baby, I know where home is. I can't wait to get back to our home. I was like, I know that's right, Gladys.
Girl, he's smashing it out the frame. She's very happy. She looks happy. I said, good sister Cersei out of there. He has more room for his dingling to spread around. Again, that hasn't been founded. It was not proven this season, but I'm still holding out that I was, in fact, correct about my sister Cersei theory. Anyways, moving on down the road to Tyra's favorite character. I'm going to let you talk Larry first.
Oh, why y'all looking at me, Larry? Larry, like I said, I feel like Larry is going to grow in more of an entrepreneur way, like in a business sense. I think that's going to be his avenue. The Marian thing, what they were kind of hovering on for the past few seasons, and the will they, won't they, I'm not here for that, Larry. I don't want none of that, Larry. I don't think he needs to be nowhere near Marian. I want to see Larry out there in a business sense having his way. I like where they're taking his character because I have never been as interested as I am now. I was never really truly invested in him and Marian, and this season confirmed it. I really do like that he is becoming a business partner with George. I think that's so great. I can't wait to see where that goes. And even how he has that same plight, that up and down with Bertha. I was like, oh my goodness. It's like, ugh. I was like, oh my, Larry, that's your mom. It's always been something, but we've seen her take them through so much now to where now it's like, well, now I am actually trying to change and I do have an interest in Marian and I do want the best for you, son. I'm trying to be hands off. Now it's too late. She's done too much to kind of turn back with Larry at this point, and we'll kind of see where that goes. But I'm here for Larry in a business sense. If this season would have went off with a hitch and Jack didn't get his money, it would have been a different story. But I told you, as long as Jack got his money, we was all gonna be cool with you girls. We were gonna be cool. Jack got his money, and now that's all I ever wanted. The whatever's happening between him and Marian, I could really care less. Larry, the businessman, and how we're gonna maneuver later on with him being such an asset early on, and he literally just got there. I'm interested to see what he becomes.
I am too. I like that as well, Tyra. I like Larry as a captain of industry, as like a venture capitalist out here making deals, making money. But here's the thing: I went on a roller coaster ride with Larry this season. I mean, I liked him initially. You know, I was holding out hope for Larry, and he did turn out to be a man of his word. But then the degeneracy, it seeped in, and I can't quite shake it. I do feel like there's another side to him that's not fully revealed, but I want the most for him, and I want what I want for Jack for him, which is I need him to live. Like, I need him to go out into the world, mature more, and really see what it is that he wants and needs. It would be very cute if this could, finalize and take away Marian's reproach. But honestly, Marian don't love you. And I don't really think he loves her. Honestly, I just think it's cute, right? Like, it's the thing that we should do. So let's do it. It's the 1800s. Like, let's just go. Might as well do it. We ain't getting no younger girl. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't give any of the steam heat that I would want. And I know y'all are shipping Larian, as you say, but I would want him to live a little bit more. And honestly, for Miss Brooke, I don't want her like relegated to a life of spinsterhood, but damn it, if that's what she wants, how am I gonna fight against what she wants? This steam heat of a love that I don't even think she's looking. Honestly, I made up my mind. I don't think Marian likes men. Not in that way. Not saying she's same gender loving. I don't know that part. I just don't think that she got it in her to be with a man. I don't know.
I think Marion has daddy issues that we didn't revisit from that first season.
Yeah, she needs help, and I don't think they had the therapy yet. So I don't know. Talk to Aunt Ada, girl. I'm over it. And now let's get into the events of the episode. Saved by a black man, honey. Y'all did that. The people in the comments who were like, Dr. Kirkland's across the street. He's gonna go across the street, and he's gonna go over there, and he's gonna be the one to save him. Y'all were right. Y'all were right, because he went over there. But y'all see how that beard that connects on both sides is fully connected, and he's handsome, even bleeding out on the table. I just wanted to point that out. But he gets there. He's got the shot to the abdomen or upper chest or whatever. They've gotten him over there. They've called their white doctor. He's nowhere to be found. Dr. Kirkland just happens to be over there talking to Peggy because he got the tea, and it was immediate. I need to get this resolved and get this off my chest. He comes over. Okay, I'll bring the bag. Marian said, no, I gotta go. That's my man's father. Now he's your man, Marian B. So freaking for real. She goes over there with the bag, baby. Instantly, she drops on the table. She's holding down the blood. She's not fainting. She's not flustered. She's doing her big one. You talk to him. I'll assess the wound. Dr. Kirkland takes that Howard medical license and gets to work. Do you hear me? Beautiful incision, all of the things, without medication, without an assistant, as we find out later. And all Bertha said was, I don't give a damn if he's black or not. Can he save my husband? Tyra, what did you think of this moment? Was it predictable? Had you thought of this as well?
Yeah.
Did it do anything for you?
Well, no, I knew, when we did last week's live, I said all I wanted was Peggy to get her stuff out before he scurried across the streets. That's all I wanted. And then we found out, of course, that they had that conversation. I did want to, get there, but I was like, let's do that first. But we all knew Dr. Kirkland was going over there. This has been a more predictable thing, but it was still beautifully done to where it didn't bother me. It was like, oh, I never thought for 1 second that we were going to lose George. Not at all. Never. Unless you say, and with these shows now, when it's like he's such a prominent character, it would never be something to where, oh, we're just going to kill him off. He would be having to go on, and I have new ventures and projects that I want to do now, so go and give my character that quiet exit. I haven't seen anything Morgan Spector, so we're still here. we're still here. And then I never thought that we would lose him, but they did well shooting it to maybe give the impression that we could. We already knew Bertha was going to whip into action. Not this man. I need this money. Baby, get up.
I need this money.
I need this money. I need this man. I need this marriage. I need this husband. My children. Oh, I can't. I'm going to be a widow? First, get up.
No, you're not dying. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch. I knew that Bertha was going to kick it into high gear. I will say, as far as, and I know where we'll get there, the predictable quality, you couldn't tell me after this Bertha was not going to be sat down. She wasn't going to leave this man's side. I don't give a damn. Cancel all that. That's where I thought we were going. Like, yeah, okay. about to,
Mm-mm.
shake this marriage up real quick. But in that final episode of the season, we're gonna realize and come full circle to what's really important to us. And baby, cancel it. That we didn't get that, so that was a genuine surprise to me. But Dr. Kirkland coming over here, I was like, yeah, this is risky behavior. This is a risk, Dr. Kirkland. Like your license and everything, like we're really popping out. And I was so happy for this kind of callback earlier in the season where of course we had Peggy sick and that doctor didn't want to see her because I can't treat her. She's a black
Mm-hmm.
woman. And we have here, like, yes, show up in a major way. Came over there and commanded the room. Baby, the way Marian jumped into action, I said, Marian, do you have something to prove?
That's what I saw here. This is my man.
It's my man. I have to be there. He's my man. It's my man's family. It's like, Marian, really? Since when? But I mean, girl, go off, girl. Go off. But I was happy that she was there to assist in everything. And the fact that we didn't have this other doctor, their main doctor, be too much of a bigot. He came in there, but real recognized real. I did immaculate work, and I saved his life, and it's clean. What infection? Yeah. I was like, well, Howard, where Howard? Who? Yeah, Howard University, my good guy.
The university. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Howard University. He put a little neck on it. I was like, that's right. And black, black. I was like, absolutely, Dr. Kirkland. I was just really happy that he was there to excel and save him, but also walk in and out of there with his dignity because I am a smart, Brazilian black doctor. You're welcome.
Absolutely. And I mean, we're not going to, because some people had complained earlier in the season about the lack of overt racism that we've seen. The scene with Peggy and the doctor wasn't enough. So I said, was this enough for you? Because although he eventually had to respect the work, because the work is always going to speak for itself. Amen. It's always going to speak for itself, but it was initially, who is this man? Who is this black man? Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm Dr. Kirkland. Right. And after looking at it, oh, this looks okay. Actually, I think he saved your life. Like reluctantly, I'm saying that this black man did an amazing job, but ultimately he did, even without any anesthetization, even without any medication to even quiet your pain afterwards. Listen, oh, we're doing this raw. They didn't have him drink no whiskey or nothing. They just said, get it. Let me get the bullet out. And of course, oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I thought it was really interesting how we do have Dr. Kirkland kind of reminiscent of, I'm sure, things that we don't see tenfold the things that Black artists, doctors, physicians, musicians, just the elites have done, especially to be a predecessor of things to come down the line. You may never know because it's not like George Russell is just anybody. This would have been, absolutely massive. But I did come in here and perform a miracle, and nobody outside of a, few will ever get to know about it because we have to conveniently keep this a secret. But they staged it in a way to where it's not the Russells being, racist because we don't want that out in the public because of who we are and we have enough going on. It has to be secret. It has nothing to do with you being black because you did save him and we thank you. But we know in real time it would have been, we can't give you that acknowledgement because you are a black man. So I thought that was nice how they connected that there. But they didn't incriminate the Russells in the process or make them racist.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. I think I'm torn about what they actually would have done. Could they have? Because I know, honestly, his mission is, oh no, I need to find out who shot me. And if they know whatever my status is, it's going to make it harder. But they did dress it a certain way. You're absolutely right. Because ultimately, we are in society now and there are rules of engagement. But we find, of course, the doctor doesn't get there till the morning. Larry does. Everybody's on damn delayed response. I said, this man would have been bled out on the dining room table waiting for y'all, but finally gets there. And so Marian takes this as her opportunity to want to talk to Larry. Girl, shut up and go directly to the hot place because this is not the time. And he's like, girl, get out my face. I can't do this right now with you. Marian, go home. Go across the street, Marian. You didn't believe me when I wanted to talk to you. Now my dad's dying, bleeding out on the table. Now you want to have a conversation with me? Marian is so strange to me. Like, is this a real woman? Is this and I know it's somebody because of course women are not monoliths. We're all very different. I struggle, Tyra, with the motivation. Talk to me about that conversation and him brutally rebuffing her and sending her back over to the Van Ryn house.
Well, we already know now. The situation doesn't change who Marian is. Marian, most times, not sometimes. And I think the only situation where we were proved wrong was that beautiful moment that she showed with Oscar. She has an issue reading the room.
It
He
really
has an
does.
issue reading the room and seeing like this isn't the time. And even we were shocked, just as shocked as Larry, because yes, I know that we have a certain, polite affection, as Ashley would say, but when you have to know that there isn't anything in the world that I wouldn't do for you or your family. It's like, do we? And I mean, do is one thing, but the way you hopped into action, like like putting your blood and the hole in the finger and putting the pressure, like just really like hopping to it because I have to save him. Not so much, being a good Samaritan and we have to save the George Russell, but it was giving I need to save my man's father. You have not given Larry my man energy, Marion. So it was a bit much. But in the way that she couldn't take 5 minutes, which is why we're both saying that this isn't anything she ever wanted. She didn't even want to come. The whole thing with Mary in this episode is I can't even go to the function because I don't want to confront anything. I don't want to be near Larry. I just want to act like this didn't happen. And she kept that same energy with the ring and the letter and the whole thing.
Hmm.
Larry literally lives across the street. And she was acting like she was going to give that ring back, send that letter. We don't ever have to speak or see each other again. Let's,
That's what
if
she
we
said.
if you see me walking down the street and I start to
Walk
cry, you
on
show me,
by.
walk on by, don't acknowledge me. Let's just like, really? You love Larry that much that it didn't even warrant one raggedy conversation. You just couldn't take that time. But you come in here at this moment and now you want to talk? Lady, if you don't get out of here and take your butt back across the street.
And yeah, he may have started the conversation, but I ain't got to finish anything with you, Heifer. To quiet as it's kept, y'all give me, I think, and here's what I think it is. I think y'all are just trying to cape for the women, whether they're right or wrong. And that's fine. I get it. Girl power. However, no, because really, I want to know too. Because why are you here now? You wouldn't talk to me yesterday in the schoolhouse when I came to see about you. You sent me a Dear John letter and told me to go to hell, and you was going to have the ring sent back by a carrier pigeon. Now you want to have a conversation with me? Now you want to explain it. Because why are you here, Ike? You care so much that you were going to leave me and never talk to me again, is what she said.
Yeah, yeah. It
I
was, and
mean,
I don't think he like went deep into some questioning. She said what she said, and he was like, and yet you gave me my ring back without even a conversation. Here we are. And she took that. Well, actually, I like no, this isn't the moment. I just said what I said. The best thing that Marion could have did to just show, my man, was be here, be quiet, and be supportive. Do you need anything, Larry? What can I do? Okay, I'll check on you. Do you need me here? Do you need space? Do you need some water? Do you need a hug? Do you want to talk? This was not the moment to want to talk about what didn't happen. Ma'am, please.
oh gosh, but I mean, like I said, I get it, but there is a time and place, and she wants to carry stuff on. She want to drag it. I want to know because now I want to talk. Girl, leave me alone. You want to talk because my daddy got shot? I just don't get this as the catalyst because I'm staying at the house. Like, oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Like, if I'm really I'm not going to go over there and play Nurse Ratched. Anyway, we get back finally. After all is said and done, Peggy's like, oh my gosh, she came over late last night after everything was done. Mom, I don't know. Did he talk to Dad? Like she's giddy before he gets here, y'all. She is giddy. And Mom is like, well, I don't know. This could be it. Do you think it's what I'm thinking? And she's like, it might be. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Flash 2, next scene. We don't even see the start of the conversation, y'all. We don't even see so it's true. I'm like, damn.
I love that. Like, y'all know the story. We don't need to see it. Y'all know what happened to Peggy.
Tears already coming down her face profusely. Listen, this is the ammunition my mother needed. It just feels like right now this is insurmountable. I don't know what to do with this information. I need to go for a walk. She says, Mama, it's over. He left. He said he's got to go for a walk. And then we see this. And, I have kind of felt in a way that the Audra McDonald has been somewhat underutilized because she is such a powerhouse. And this was the moment I needed. And my only note is I wish we could have gotten more of this scene of her and Peggy on the steps where she says, baby, you are worthy. You are worthy of a real, I don't give a damn about your past. You're my child. And you worthy of being loved totally and fully, no matter what. Somebody to love you through it. I said, oh, that's a word. Oh, it'll preach. How many women need to hear that? I thought that was just such a beautiful moment. And although Peggy's heart is shattered because he got to go for a walk, mama. Not once did he say it was over officially. He said, I got to go for a walk. And he did say this is insurmountable, but I'm taking this as it's over. I was going to tell you, I was just trying to, Peggy, you wasn't going to tell that man. You had your moment on that blanket in the grass to tell that man. Peggy wasn't going to tell that man. He said, but when he said, baby, you ain't got to tell me nothing. It's understood.
Say less.
Right. But this scene, chef's kiss, Tyra, talk to me about it.
I was so happy. I was happy right along with her, even though we knew this was coming. The gigginess, like the instantly Peggy turned into a teenage schoolgirl. Like, Mama, I don't know. Like, she always was about to squeal. Yes. Girl, I'll tell you by the way when you put the ring on my finger. It's like, yes. In Peggy's mind, baby, we already halfway down the aisle. I just need you to give me the word. This is my man. And in a blink of an eye to think that this might not be your man. And then he said he was going for a walk. We all know. Everybody's an adult here. Everybody knows nothing good comes from a man who said, I need to go on a walk. Like, oh, hell. If you ever anywhere and a man say, you know what, I need to go for a walk. Oh, something broke, something fell off the shelf. Sir, you going for a walk? Why?
My daddy went and got a pack of cigarettes, never came back. Never came back.
Went to that store to get a carton of cigarettes and never came back. Went to get that milk, that carton of milk from the store. He ain't never came back because he went for that walk. Girl, to see her so giggity, and like I said, I like the way they framed it because we know what Peggy went through. We didn't need to regurgitate and hear that story again. But how he approached her, I liked that you could tell that he was shook because he wanted so badly for her to say, oh, your mom's being your mom. The gossip is gossiping. It's not true. But he didn't take that time to demean her. He didn't, he was really quiet because it's like, I don't want to say anything that I may regret or jump to anything. I just need to go for a walk and I just need some time to process it. I need you to respect and like, let me process. All Peggy heard is, girl, he gone. Mama, no. Mama, no. Mama, Lord Jesus. Peggy in her mind, especially with all that she's been through and the weight that she has to carry for what happened, she felt like it was very kind of almost Marian, like they mirror each other a little bit with their romance. And she was like, this was probably my only and final time. How many times am I going to have to, tell my story or be rebuffed or find a man, half as good as Dr. Kirkland, who may even want to consider me and then have to reveal things? Like, she probably felt like if it's not this, then it's not going to be anything. I'm never going to, get anybody, which is why she was carrying around that shame. Yeah. And why it did take her so long to say something. It's just like, let me enjoy this while I can. Yeah. I'm going to, soak this all up, because who's to say when I do tell you, you might run. But child, on those steps with Mama, I was like, girl, I felt like she was talking to me. I was like, I am
worthy. I am somebody.
I am somebody. It's like, yeah, she's like, I don't care, baby. You are my child and you are worthy. And even then, Peggy was still broke. She was like, I wish I could believe that. Mom, like, oh, Peggy, it's gonna be okay, Peggy. But I like the way that Dr. Kirkland handled it. It's still, very respectful, because he could have, naturally shown the kind of man that he was. I already knew he was going to stand beside her, but the moment that he just kind of politely got up and he walked away, and she was like, I don't even want your handkerchief, like, Taylor. It was like, Peggy, no, like, it's okay. Just let me gather myself. I was like, Peggy, that's your man. Grow up, give it a couple of minutes, once we get to that point. Peggy, this is your man. This is just a lot to process, especially to consider the family background, the mama, the Jack and Jill of it all. This is another thing that I wasn't expecting. And I think it hit more because I would have loved to have heard this from you first, rather than hear it from my mother.
That's what I said. Don't let nobody come telling him nothing about you, sister. But here's the thing. He said goodbye, y'all, but this is a formal time. People said goodbye. And I get it. It was poetic in the moment because we're all heightened emotions. Like, oh, he said goodbye. It's over. But something says, never count him out. Never count the good doctor out. He had some testicular fortitude after all. But that's a lot to swallow. You guys got to think about it. It's the 1800s. It's still polite society. It's still a woman of uncertain background. Now, at this point, she's had a child. She's sullied. This is my first marriage. It's not my second. So there are a lot of factors that go into it. And I know a lot of people were like, they don't ship this because he doesn't need to make her feel like she's less than. And I don't think he's ever done that. Like Tyra said, even in this moment, he was very respectful. He listened to it. He saw the pain and hurt in her. It's like, I just have to work through this. I'm just getting this. I got this one way. Now I'm getting this from you. I have to process it. And that's how I took it. But I mean, I know, girl, I know it felt like the end of the world. It did.
Tell me down at the train station, baby, he was fighting for her virtue as well as like you will not take advantage of this kind lady down on the train, Mr. Fortune, not my Peggy. It's like, oh, you've already had those moments, and I think those are really intimate things, childbirth, marriage. It's like I think that was the process of knowing that she would be sharing those things with him first. And it's like, oh, I got a process of those things that I'm willing to sacrifice, all in the name of my love for Peggy. Hell yeah.
Thank you, Unartha, for the $5 super chat. I want to understand Arthur's original motives better, though. He set Peggy up to be a Scarlet Woman for no reason. Was the first hubs that bad? So here's the thing. And what's kind of so poetic and beautiful about the show is that, and we've said it before in the earlier reviews, that honestly, the Scotts and the Kirklands are two sides of a similar coin, right? Now, their issue is the Scotts are attached to slavery. Her people wasn't slaves. All right. We've been free people of color for 100 years over here. We don't want anything close to that. We're very brown paper bag. If you're darker than this brown paper bag, I don't want you in my lineage because you're going to mess up the bloodline. Babies with the umbrellas, how dare you be out in that sunlight? That's the last thing you need. It gave all of that on the Kirkland side, right? And so we're causing this disparity. Both have money, both have class to a certain extent, but we have that dichotomy as it relates to slavery post-Reconstruction. Then enter Elias, who was a shop boy and uneducated. Well, Mr. Scott, Arthur, said, I got it out the mud. I was a slave. I became an apprentice. I became a pharmacist, now an owner. I want the same for my daughter. I don't want her with a nothing nobody who is not educated. Peggy said, I love this boy anyway. I want to marry him. And Arthur couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go. So he pressured that boy to sign the annulment papers. She's giving birth, thinking her baby died, and he done absconded with the child and gave it away. So again, I don't want you because you're not this status. You're not my level of elite on the Kirkland to Scott side. And then the Scott to Elias or whatever his name was, you're not educated. You're not upwardly mobile. You're not the talented 10th. So there's nothing I can do with you from there. In my opinion, is how I perceive how they handled that. What did you think of the first marriage, Tyra, and how Daddy?
Absolutely. I was going to say, what are we talking about? He said it directly out of his mouth. Like, I never thought that he was good enough for you. Like, he was working there, a shopkeeper in the farm. Like, you didn't own the pharmacy. You worked at it. You little shop boy. You could do better, Peggy. And it's mirroring the situation where you may have the Kirklands, just her grips be mostly, not just her background, but it's giving, colorism over there. And then we get here, it's, elite. And that's why I'm glad that I really wanted Daddy Scott to have a conversation, a little bit more, a little interaction. But I think that it's, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. He sees the error in his ways now to where how you treated this man and what it did to your family and what it did to Peggy. We're here now where you guys are trying to regroup and come full circle and have this forgiveness, and somebody's displaying those same tendencies towards your daughter. It doesn't feel, that great, but and I love that. I love that they're all kind of imperfect in that way. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's extremely, flawed in these ways, and it's very on tempo with what was happening back then. I think he explained it pretty well last season why he felt he needed to do what he did. The man wasn't, bad at all for the most part. He wasn't wealthy, or not what he would consider wealthy or educated in the sense of where Peggy was trying to go.
Yeah. And Swanky, no, she ran off with that man. They got married. They got married before she got pregnant. She ain't do that. They actually, which is why he had to sign for the annulment to to act
Mhm.
like the marriage never happened. But easing on down the road, after the events and Larry brutally rebuffs her, she talks to Auntie Ada. He don't want me. He don't want me. He don't like me. He don't love me, Tyra. He don't want me. And Ada's like, well, yeah, that's true, though, kind of what he said. You did kind of just not want to listen to him, and who's to say that won't happen in the future? And again, we just kind of have a moment. And really, I think the other thing that bothers me about Marian is the fact that she doesn't ever really want to own it or sit in it. When someone corrects her or brings something to her attention, it's like, well, I just, it's like, no,
Mhm.
sister, that's not what happened. You didn't believe him. And what does that bode for the rest of the relationship, right? If you can't trust him in this or even respect him enough to have a conversation before breaking it off completely, what are you going to do if something else comes up? And we don't have to stay here long, Tara. Do you want to say anything on this before I go to the next one?
Nothing. Marian stay letting life just happen to her. Like I should, and it's the same. Like y'all would never convince me that she wants Larry in that way. At least not until we see them grow and develop and have time apart, and maybe they can become different people, and then we'll see it. Right now, it's like, well, okay, well, he said he didn't want me. If he's not worth fighting for, or not so much, even if it's just not apologizing, but I was waiting for her to approach and, well, Larry, I don't even want to talk about that. And I'm not even asking, for the ring or anything again. I just want to know, like, she's not showing any interest in that way. It's just like, well, he doesn't want me. He made it very clear. What am I going to do now? Motion something, do something, Marion. It's not always on the other person. Like it's just like, well, whatever. But I think if we wanted something, I'm telling you, that man, I think it was that man first season or bus. I can't remember his name, but
Hmm.
I've never seen her act in a way with such haste and motivation and really trying outside of that man from that first season. She was all about that man.
And
She was
was
all
she?
about that. And it's like that didn't go, in her favor, or he wasn't who she thought he was. And now it's just like, well, I think it was that man or bust. And since it didn't happen, she's just kind of been struggling and stifled ever since with, well, in my past, she was walking around this episode. I have been through so man, please, you act like people had rings on your finger, diamonds on your
Girl,
fingers.
was she?
They
Act
did
like.
not. These were all just possibilities of what could have been. And I know the stakes and what that could mean to a woman back then, even with how they were treating it, 3 times you're out. We don't want another. But like nothing was, formidable here. If you want something, you're going to go after it and fight for it. Where's your fight, Marion?
Yeah, and BB, we like, I get it. She said every man done betrayed her, but my thing is, sister, before you embark on new endeavors with these other people, just take some time and really discover who it is that you want to be in this new place and new time and new season in your life. But I mean, if you would have married your cousin, you wouldn't have had none of these issues. Just saying. Anyway.
Man. I was going to say, what really happened with that cousin? That wasn't. I don't even consider that moment a
That
thing.
wasn't traumatic, but it was public because she accepted his offer of engagement. And so, for society purposes, girl, that's strike two. So that y'all mess around and y'all shop this, and I'm aggravated because I remember back in the day, so I had to put this picture down here before. Bridget wasn't really trying to give him no play like that. So why are we gonna come now and invite her into the primrose path, into my well-appointed home with my candelabras and china sets behind me? And now you get to be a guest in my home. I don't like it. Jack needs to go out here, be a man about town, and pull him a baddie. Because I don't like how Bridget played on his timer top. He was making a valiant effort to make an honest woman of her, and she paid him dust. I don't understand why we're over here now. Get out of my well-appointed home. Thank you for the mutton stew. Go home, Roger. Tyra, you're muted.
Now look.
I don't like it.
As much as I would love, and we don't know what the new season holds because things change all the time. I would love for Jack to be a man around town and meet, someone new, but Jack is a certain kind of man. Jack is a certain. I was happy that she showed up here. It's like he's alone, with all this new appointed wealth in this home, and he was so sad in the fact that he basically, had to be cut off and pretty much put out to even move out and have this moment. I would love to see, a new interest and to see Jack exploring. But I think just for writing purposes, it's easier to have Jack sat in this moment. And he hasn't shown much interest in that way because we know their backgrounds and where they've come from. And we've been through things with her. I appreciated this moment because she says, like, he acts and he remembered, like, are you comfortable? Are you okay? She's like, I'm fine. I'm okay now. I know, even though it may have taken me longer than we feel like it should have, I'm safe with you and I'm okay. And I think that says a lot for, where she was and how broken she felt and why she couldn't be with Jack in the first place. Just that one
Aw.
little in there. I thought that was nice. And Jack isn't one to kind of throw his weight around and like, ooh, just be out and about and a man about town. But we couldn't. Jack was like, get me out of this goddamn house of ill repute. Like, oh my God, why would you bring me here? Ma'am, I don't want any of that. Put your clothes on, holy Jesus. That's just not who he is. So if this is, something happy, comfortable, and familiar for him, and also kind of gets him out of just being lonely, and he still has a tie to the home, like she's something familiar. I'm not mad at him for him falling into this. I'm okay with this. I was happy she showed up there. He's just here all alone out of nowhere. Like, come on. Now it does give like, oh, now that I done came up in the world, now you want to pull up to the function,
Right
Bridget.
now.
And it's like, no, we know Bridget is not one to care about money and who he is now. Is it, quick that she gets to benefit from it now? And it's just like, when he said, what's mine is yours, like, you're a guest here. Like, you said he pulled out a chair. It was all of that. But this is who Jack is, and he's comfortable with her. And I'm happy that he has someone rather than just being here by himself.
With his window treatments. Here's the thing. Back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You all own me is how I feel about it. Now, and again, when I say man about town, I don't want him frequenting the whole house Haymarket. I don't want him going with the little people boxing in mud and all that stuff. I'm just saying go to a ball or two. You know what I mean? Go to the opera house. Go see a show, Jack, and just show that you're the young, hot, eligible bachelor, and there will be a parade of
That's not,
beautiful
yeah,
possibilities. But
that's
Bridget,
not
I just don't. We don't need a chick with issues at this point. I don't need it to.
issues.
Yes.
Ashley, I'm happy for him. Like, that's just, I would love, new experience for Jack. That's just not who he is. This is who he is. And just as much as she got confirmation, like, I'm safe with you, I'm okay. He feels safe with her. Like, he has his own, complexes from what he's been through and being here alone, no family. They need each other. I wasn't mad at this.
It was fine, but then we saw him at the house. So I'm like, if you at their house, she ain't got to be at your house. I just want something different for Jack. Yes, we've been watching the same exact show. Bridget was always supportive. That does not a good wife make necessarily. I'm just saying. I don't. I don't like anyway, let me go on and get these other little things. I just want him to live a little, and I get it. It may not be in his makeup right now, but I want him to take his time and not rush into anything. I don't think Bridget is a hellion or anything like that. I just want something different. You, Nartha, thank you so much again for the $2 super chat. What we calling Jack and Bridget? Jacket, Brick. Listen, I like Brick. Let's call him Brick. Let's call him Brick. I like that,
And I'm
Nartha.
happy with who Jack is. We don't have to worry about somebody being there just for who he is, his finances, trying to get in his pockets, be sneaky and conniving. This is a genuine person who doesn't want anything from Jack than just to be himself. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. He's a simple man, brilliant in what he's trying to execute, but he's a simple kind of man. He needs a Bridget.
Thank you, TNT Bandit, for the $5 super chat. Jack can spin the block with Bridget later and get his redhead lover boy on. Also, need Adelaide to know she dropped a good one. Baby got coins. Yes, I need her to eat crow. I need to see her face cracked. Because the way she said, remember your station and you don't know who you are, that little. And now, if he would have had her over in the house, I would have burned something down, Tyra, because she
Now, if it
pissed
was
me.
her, if it would have been Shrimpy from across the street, this would be a totally different conversation.
That
No.
pissed me off. That pissed me off. Missy Natasha, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. We appreciate you, girl. If you want to say a message, let me know. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Brick is perfect. I like Brick. I'm going with Brick if they're gonna ship this for real. But We saw it. Anyway, hire the Pinkertons. So now behind the scenes, Tyra, you know that they're going to abscond and go away at the end of the episode together anyway, back to this boarding house. They got matching twin rooms, one for son, one for father, because can't nobody stand Big Bertha. But we're going to hire the Pinkertons, not necessarily the Pinkertons. I just said that for the times, but we're going to hire detective agency to get to the bottom of it. And we're going to start with that cockroach and use by any means necessary. He got very Malcolm X and said, do what you got to do by any means necessary. Get the job done. Use all the force that's needed. And I'm absolutely here for it because ultimately that's the one thing we're left not knowing at the end of this episode is who done it. Tyra, any ruminations now that we've kind of had a week to sit with it and now that we're starting an investigation, do we still think it's somebody different or is it going to be on the nose and be Clay? And what do you think of his methods of keeping it hush hush while he investigates?
I mean, do what you gotta do, Mr. Russell. Like, let's go. Him and the hush hush. I'm cute on the hush hush because I was like, I need people to know that Dr. Kirkland was there saving your life. But we can't go back. We're here now. I think it would be too cliche just to go directly to Clay. I would love a callback, and I know that we don't get too much of that. It seems like every single season is something new and inventive, and some things that we pick up will drop them just as quickly as we did in that last season. But baby, that woman who said that she was gonna get it back in blood, all about her husband who took himself out, like
Yeah.
let it be someone just completely unexpected to where it's just like I would hope that it's her and we have George come to some type of Jesus with a lot of the things that he's done to get to where he is, and a lot of bridges that have been burned and have crossed. The fact that we even have to be here, and it's not just any center person that we can focus on. We can't even go, yes, it was Clay, because he's the only one who could have any. It's like,
Everybody.
if I had to guess, it would be him, but I really don't know. My father's made a lot of enemies. That's an issue. So I hope that it's not Clay, but I'm glad that we got somebody on the case.
Absolutely. And I heard you asking, Jacqueline, the Pinkerton Detective Agency, it actually did. And that's why I use that as a reference. It was, I think, created in the 1850s. And we saw it a lot. If you watch a lot of like Westward Expansion railroad shows, they always talk about the Pinkertons. They were the one that were going to investigate the crimes and figure out who done it. But yeah, like you said, he has a ton of enemies. We can go the labor union. We can go that lady's, like you said, husband who unalived himself. We can go over there with Clay. We can go with some of these competitors. We can honestly go with the Merricks who, kind of against their will have gone along with his plan to expand the railroad westward. So, I mean, he's not a likable person. Like he said, he's ruthless in business. We know that. Now let's get to it, y'all. We are getting ready to the ball. The blacks and the whites have entered Newport. And basically, I ain't want to put it in the slide because I don't want it, but ho, is you cool? Because, girl, you would never come into this nice dress shop and start talking slick about my child. She says, listen, I've had enough. You've been moving with impunity around here. You might be from Newport, but I'm not. I'm from Brooklyn with 2 O's, and I'm not about to play with you in here about my child. And if your son couldn't take it or don't want her, he was never for her. But what we not about to do is mess up my appointment. Is everything fine here? Yes, ma'am. Please continue with the fitting. I said that was a read. That was an 1800s read, and I was absolutely here for it. And Mother Felicia's face was cracked. Now, sis, I've never seen her gobsmacked, Tyra, or speechless. But Claire Hanks Hustable, Felicia Ayers Allen was, you said what, madam? She said, because who you think you are? Who's without sin over here? Because all have fallen short of the glory of God. I said, well, preach, sister. Preach to the preacher's wife. Talk to me about this scene, Tyra. We knew this was culminating. Like, this is what I've been looking forward to. I didn't know if it was going to be Peggy and Mama Kirkland or Mama Scott and Mama Kirkland, but I appreciate the balance and power with the 2 mothers going after it. Talk to me about this.
You know, I've been waiting on this down. I was like, I need a standoff before the season ends. I need a standoff, and we got one. You didn't put it here, but I want it so badly from Mama Scott to say, yeah, I'm not from Newport. I'm from Brooklyn. I wanted she to like, I knew she wasn't going to, curse or anything, but I want her to put like best style boy like Brooklyn. Like I want her to get real. I'm from Brooklyn. I ain't from no Newport. I wanted her to get real ghetto. just not in a sense, like not on nothing else. I just needed her to put a little stank on it, and she didn't say it. She was like, "I'm not from Newport." I thought she was gonna say, "I'm from Brooklyn, boy." She didn't say that. She didn't say that. She said, "I'm not from here." Let me tell you what's really going on. I thought that this was so good. I thought this was so good and so respectable. That was, mudslinging in the most polite way. And the way that she just thought that she was going to come in here and tell her what she wasn't going to do with her child. Ma'am, please. Who do you think you are? Even cousin tried to roll it like, let's calm down. No, 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 no. I've been sitting on my words and I'm not sitting on them anymore. I need her to understand. Like I said, the shot where they're both in frame and it's the reflection in the mirror. I thought it was great. I thought she read her for filth. Like, yeah, you may be able to run that over here on everybody else. And I knew she was gonna say it. I was just waiting. She was like, baby, if it's all of that, he doesn't deserve my Peggy. He was never for her in the first place. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. I was here for it, and all she could do was turn around because, like, I know you're not getting a dress fit to go to my you
to my
yeah, because we're going to stand on it. Remember my husband down in the Newport? We made that sizable donation because that's who we are and that's what we do. And we're going to show up along with Peggy. Girl, be sad. Be sad. I was here for this. I loved every moment of this. This was a very, very classy read.
It was. It was so cute and clean, and she been holding it back, But one thing you're not gonna do is stomp on my baby's heart. And we're gonna go as a family, yes. And she's gonna be the best dressed and the finest in the ball. Period. Do something about it. Do something about it, Mama Kirkland. I loved it. It was so nice. It's like, calm down. No, I'm not. I won't calm down.
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Tyra.
That's what you said.
Brooklyn. 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 With 2 O's. TNT Bandit 5, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. The way Mama Scott wanted to say, I'm not from Newport, Illinois, kick ya. Audra ain't say it, but I heard it loud and clear. Listen, because we're not about to play with you. I loved it. I loved it. And in both of their finery, like, it was a moment, just elite. And I really hope that they're listening to the fans and say, we need this. Because so many people have been asking me, like, Ashley, do you have any recommendations that show Black aristocracy? And this is kind of a one of one in this way that it's depicted, especially from an American cast. Like, you can go over there to Franny Langton, over there, which is some wild stuff. You could go over there to Belle, but it's still not going to give you the American vibes of what it was like to be a Black American post-Reconstruction in that time and be one of the elites. So it's really hard. I hope they're listening, and I hope they do a spinoff or we get something over here, because it's too good to not. But let's go over here, because now we got to think about the Whites Ball, and we know that Mrs. Russell is handling that part, Bad-Eyed Bertha. And Oscar says, listen, now I'm so surprised at Oscar because I thought he was still going to be under the bed, rocking back and forth in the fetal position. I did not know he was going to be a man about town, ready to get this stuff going and having plans. But he said, listen, because he got in his mind, and I said it instantly, oh, he wants a lavender marriage. I said, oh, okay, This is what we're doing. All right, bet. Let's go. So now all of a sudden we're to believe that Bertha, after Marian jumps on the table and gets her Nurse Ratched on, that she now is fine with the marriage. Yes, I want her for my son. I saw her in a new light. She's that one for him. I just know it. But now she's not going to the ball because Larry brutally rebuffed her. So Oscar says, this is my time. This is my time. This is my opportunity. This is my space, right? I am going to barter. Quid pro quo. You give me something, I'll give you something. He said, listen, I can get Marian to come, but you got to get Turner. That's not her new name. She has a new married name. I don't remember it right now. But you get Turner to come. Invite her. Just invite her, because I got something working. I got a theory. I got a thought now. But you do that for me, I'll do this for you. And she says, bet. All right. I know what this is. We didn't work together before, in a way. What do you think this means or bodes for their relationship going forward? And did you expect this of Oscar so suddenly? I was like, what?
No, it kind of pissed me off. We just got the run by fruit cart. We just got the drive by fruit cart. It was a run by fruity. We just got that ninja fruit cart. We just lost that good man Savannah, who left you riches in a home. Okay, had you set up, saved you. I mean, I'm happy that Oscar is continuing on. It's not like I didn't want him to live or sulk forever, but I just thought the direction would be elsewhere. This gave old Oscar. Mm-hmm. This gave OG Oscar. And where a lot of his intent was, of course, nefarious, because I need to find someone to have a lavender marriage. It was always with the outcome and expectation of what he wants to have happen now. So it's like we had this particular kind of Oscar kind of set, and we didn't really get too much into him until that brilliant, last girl. Come on, Oscar. It was great.
Come on, Blake.
But for the most part, I think we were questioning, like, what is going on with Oscar? Like, what is Oscar doing? Oscar's just there. And it's like, yeah, where we kind of set Oscar down, we're going to really have him pop back right back into who he was. I was like, not after that run by fruit cart. At least with this, and I know we'll get to it, it's like, well, at least I'm moving with honesty, and I can be open with someone, and I can say outright the exact kind of marriage this is, where before I would have had to lie and maybe had to, do I have to make love to this woman? Like, God, so there is some honesty there, but this snapback was really quick, okay? Very quick, too quick for my blood. I was like, Oscar, this is old Oscar. This isn't the Oscar that we've gotten this season. This is season 1 and 2 Oscar. What is happening here? I don't like it. This is not what John Adams sacrificed his life for.
This is not what the fruit salad was for. No, so here's the thing. Like, I don't like how quickly it was. But honestly, Turner is a Mrs. Winterton is a debaucherous lurch, whatever it is, right? And so I think they are duly suited. I think he can go into this because are we going to relegate him to a life of loneliness and not being able to, acclimate into society, or maybe not even carry on his name? They still have the opportunity that they could have a child and carry on the Van Ryn name. I think if she's down and he's fully open and honest, and they both know each other's tea. So I think that kind of gives it an authenticity. And I do feel like he's changed. Ultimately, we will see, but I feel like he's changed. I think he now has a better vision. Thank you, baby.
He's going to become more ruthless. I didn't have a problem with their situation. I think it's very befitting. This is where I always thought they would end up. So where we didn't really see her this season, it was concerning for me. I always thought that she would be a viable option. And we all know that she was married to the Crypt Keeper. He wasn't long for this world. We knew where this was going. If it was going to be a lavender marriage with anyone, I always thought it would be her. It was this conversation here with Bertha where he was willing to leverage Marian. That opportunist, spirit peeking through. Well, I give you something. Yeah, it's different when it's something that you can give just off you alone, Oscar. Don't place anything on my back of, whether I attend a party or not. Especially when Marian was there to, wipe your tears. Like, what else are we willing to do? I feel like it's like Oscar back, bigger, stronger than ever, versus Oscar who has learned and who wants something different from himself because the love of his life is no longer in this world. I think it's Oscar, OG Oscar times 10.
Oh Lord, gosh, she's like, this is his villain era, and grief and loss can sometimes do that to you. I just at least now feel like he's at least moving in honesty, and that's a far cry from what he was doing before. Now we get over here, and again, we've alluded to this already. Inviting the divorcees. We have Charlotte, Astor, as well as Aurora Fane that are now going to be invited. But before the ball, Bertha sits down and talks to Miss Astor, aka Gothel. Who the hell knew that this was Gothel from Tangled? I did not know this was Mother Knows Best until I saw her on Instagram. Lord, it'll take that. But Miss Astor, girl, get down. I like the person. I think she's hilarious. But anyway, it comes kind of down to, well, if you invite my daughter, Bertha, I'm not coming. I won't be there. This is against everything that we stand for in polite society. This is not going to happen. Tyra, talk to me about this, because we actually saw some depth and some growth with Miss Astor this season. We know what her life is. We know her husband is invisible and cheats with the showgirls, and that she gets her kicks basically being one of the ruling class in their society, hosting the events, doing all this. And now that her daughter is mean, an adulteress out here, definitely wearing a scarlet letter. Do I let my rules go by the wayside, or do I dismiss my child? And that's kind of the quandary here, Tyra, family or society. What did you think of this dynamic? It's been running behind the scenes the whole season, but now we're kind of seeing it play out.
I think we could stand to get a whole lot more of this daughter. Like, she's so interesting. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh, and we just got married. And no splice towards Marian, but it seems like her dynamic is just so interesting. Like, everything that they speak on as to why she's shamed now, I would love to see these moments play out. Like, I want to be a fly on the wall, but we're over here with Marian. I love that. But I expected this. I think we've seen this several times with her kind of being an agent, as far as like, oh, I'm slow to progress. She's going to fight until she can't fight anymore. I always expected her to show, and maybe when she showed up, she showed up. It's like, girl, look, girl. I was like, who is that? Girl, is that you showing up to the ball? Oh, girl, you were filled with everything. I was like, girl, she said diamonds. It was beautiful. I like that she's always kind of the last heel to kind of break down what feels like every season, because we have Bertha among so many, and just the era in general just going through a change. And of course, we have her and people like Agnes kind of hovering over, well, this is the expectation and what it is. It's like, well, those things are changing and it won't be that anymore. Are you going to be left behind, or are you going to roll with it? And if you were to be left behind, do you really want to be left without your daughter by your side? Are you really going to drop that?
Yeah.
Every season so far, we've seen her lose her best friend. We've seen, the husband has always been extremely absentee. Like, I think she sat there, especially when it was all said and done, like, I don't know if I'm, ready to just be here all alone with these things. Is this really that important that I'm willing to, sacrifice my daughter? But the fact that she even said it and tried to stand on it lets us know that she's still kind of slow to the process. It's gonna take a while to get her there. But I think that their dynamic is really interesting. These are two characters that I could stand to see a lot more of.
Absolutely. And I liked it. And I don't have a specific slide for it, but ultimately, Miss Astor, like you said, does come to the ball, as well as Charlotte, Drake, honey. And I loved it. It was like, that was embarrassing, but you're not an embarrassment. And it was like kind of this fully accepting, like, I love you no matter what you've done. And I know my child. Like, I know you a hot mess, baby. It is what it is. I love you anyway. Okay, before the ball, we're getting here. We're all in Newport. Dr. Kirkland came through. I said, all right. I like you in the cream. Listen. I like you. I like you in the summer. I
He
do.
had
I
that
like
same cream on when he was walking, giving you that painting visual, and you told him to
it.
get out your face.
It hit different now. I might have been wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong, because if the beard was looking full. The summer white was looking summery, and that bag dropped was significant. He looked. He said, "I can't." He said, "What is this?" He said, "Worth my life." Oh,
Girl.
baby, you deserve more. Really, quiet as it's kept. But it was kind of this mutual appreciation. Like you did your biggest one, and this needs to be commiserate with that. Because do you know who I am? You know what my life is worth. You did that, and you took a risk. Because let's be very, very clear. If anything would have went wrong, Dr. Kirkland could have been in prison. He could have been strung up. Let's be honest. Let's be all the way 100. But this, of course, and also that kind of lets me know that our man had grandes cajones too, because it takes. I mean, I'm a black doctor in the 1800s, and I'm taking this chance where you could potentially die, knowing what that could mean to me, my family, all of those things, and to do it anyway. This was well worth it. Tyra, how much was it, and where do we go from here?
Oh, I wanted him to say, I kept waiting in the episode, like, especially when we get back and he's talking with the family. They're like, that's sizable. That's sizable. How much was it, Felicia? You tell everything else. She didn't want to tell us. Mama Kirkland did not want to tell us the digit amount that was on there. It has to be something, because let's not act like the Kirklands aren't, a people of a certain means. It's not like this would be the first time he's seen a sizable amount of money. They are wealthy in their own right. So if it was enough to make him kind of like, oh my, this is like, damn, my drink, like, is this what? Oh my God! Like, it's something that he hasn't seen before. I don't know how much it is. Maybe we'll find out later. But the discretion in this scene, it would be right for us to know. It's just like what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Just know that I care enough. I don't care what color this man is. He saved my life and he needs to be compensated for it. But I would love to know how much.
Adequately. I really, really would. And BB, yes, that's how I talk over here, and that's an actual reality, factual reality of the times. I know I can be a bit verbose and outspoken, but yeah, I said it and I meant it because that's really a truth of what was happening. Well, let's be honest, what's still happening in America today? It's still happening. So yeah, yeah. Sorry to be heavy. It is what it is. But yes, a bag was dropped. We took that bread and left, right? And so now, and people were kind of, I guess, feeling a way about something I said as it relates to that. Because now, while I believe that the conversation that we're ultimately going to have with his mother and father, the father, I think, really was a motivating force. I also think having this stack in your back pocket, knowing that I'm not necessarily going to be dependent on this society for means anymore, also was another energy pack that said, okay, I can really pursue this love that I want. Tyra, what do you think of that? Did the money have anything to do with it, or was it solely his father's finally standing up and being like,
late much. You want to come through all late, and now you want to give Jump the Broom, sir. Now you want to give your Jump the Broom, Angela Bassett energy, and then the show. That's where we're going, sir. It was pretty late. It was pretty late. But we heard him utter too much of anything, and now he picks this time like now a warning. But he said what needed to be said. And I know it hit differently for her because this is your husband, but I think if there is some foundation set to where if business opportunities or whatever circumstance, friends, circle, even your own family at this point decide, we're going to cut you off, or we don't want to go to your doctor because are you with Peggy? Yeah, and once again, we have things to think about. There's a lot to intel when we get into it's not just us marrying Peggy, and it's just so much bigger than the rife that we're going to have with the family because my mom didn't want me to marry. She's a hurdle, but I think that's one of the smallest ones. I think who he's going to become and opportunities that he may miss out on because he's married to Peggy or vice versa, that's going to be the biggest hurdle. So to know that we do have some cushion regardless of what happens, or hell, we might need to go independently. Like, yeah, nobody knows who we are here. We're moving here. Who knows? We just really don't know. But I think that definitely it helped. It did not help because he looked at it like, oh my God.
He said, no, I can't accept. Well, you better shut up and take it and dip. Listen, get that bread. But no, finally Daddy stood up. And you're right. This was so late. And what it gave was, this is what I've been wanting to tell you for a lifetime, you contentious woman. You've been hell. And who all did you tell?
I said, George Russell Black, if you don't sit down, that's what I said, George Russell Black. Don't be rolling up. Your woman, your wife, the mother of your seeds. She has been this for how long? And now you want to, when he did the finger, it
George
stops
Russell
here.
Black.
It's woman. No, George, woman, it stops here. Never again. So who are you waving your finger at? Huh? George Russell Black. That's what it was given. I was like, so you can. She's OG Bertha. That's what you're telling me. She's OG Bertha. Okay, I see. Yeah, it was a little late, woman. I was like, excuse me? I was happy that we had her sat down, but it was giving George Russell Black.
Absolutely. I was utterly and completely tickled by this entire interaction because, of course, Dr. Kirkland comes in very heartbroken, very, just like, oh my God, that was the love of my life. Like, oh, I can't. No, I'm not going to the ball. I'm not doing anything. Mama Kirkland said, but there's going to be hoes at the ball, son. There's going to be a whole bevy. There's going to be a bevy of broads at the ball. Listen, and you're going to have which color you want. Like, there's going to be options there. It always comes back to 5 heartbeats. I'm so sorry. But there's going to be tons of them there. And finally, again, father, woman, step back. Go outside. Actually, matter of fact, go wait in the carriage. I'll be out there. Son, You follow your heart, son. Don't listen to this lady. She's a demon lady. And honestly, I'll give it up to Dr. Kirkland for this. I honestly believe that this was the first time he'd been very serious about a woman. I think he knew who his mother was. I don't think he knew who his mother was in this situation or in this aspect. And I think he saw her for the first time and was like, damn, like my mother is literally the dragon lady. What am I going to do? How am I going to maneuver this? And like I said, I think the money, and I think, like you said, George Russell Black, I like that. It sounded like cologne. It sounded like it smelled good. George Russell Black said, son, you follow your heart and I got your back. I'll deal with your mama. You go live your best life, son. But it was an enjoyable experience. And baby, we absolutely know what happened. Did I miss something in the chat? Because I'm black. Yeah, I'm very fair, and I'm black.
Stuff out of there. Don't be
I was just curious because it just pops up, and I'm like, okay. So now we're here. Of course, we already talked about this, so I won't elaborate. I don't know why I put this slide here, but passing the baton and promotion, we know that Agnes is going to be the VP, and Ada is now at the head of her own table in her house. So now let the divorce say.
Don't be skipping Ada's moment. Ada showed up. Okay.
Go ahead.
She took initiative. I was so proud of Ada. Ada don't give us much. I was very proud of her. I want to acknowledge her because I was proud of her. She took initiative here. She didn't wait to try to figure out. No, I called and I wrote a letter and I did X, Y, and Z, and it turned into an opportunity for you. Ada didn't have to do that. Ada be off on flights of fancies, fluttering in the breeze with her black dress on. I was very proud of her. And I think this was the moment that Agnes realized, like, let me kind of acquiesce and get in my position and walk my way so that you can walk into your purpose as well. I was happy for that. Let's acknowledge Ada's moment, please.
Absolutely. We will. Like I said, I know we had talked about her a little bit in the beginning. But yes, that is Trevor, Hillary Banks, will you marry Trevor? But he's quite accomplished, Tony Award winning actor on Broadway. I know he was also in he always plays the bougie blacks. He always plays the our kind of people. Right. That's kind of what he is on TV. But on Broadway, he's quite accomplished. A singer of sorts. Let the divorcees live, honey. Bertha stood on big business. So not only now is Marian a suitable bride for her son, but now the divorcees can come in. It's fine, ladies. I love you that much, Aurora Fane and Charlotte, who I don't even know. You can come in, and this is completely altruistic. It's not about me. It's really about you and changing things. Go to hell, Bertha. I don't believe any of it. Tyra?
Bertha said, looky here. Just in case the levee falls, I will not be on the outskirts. If the day came where George Russell really decided to stand on business, I would not be left out. This was very much a play for herself as well, as well as, she wants to be the initiator. She wants to be the change. She wants to be that purpose and that catalyst. But this could also be a saving grace for her if stuff does hit the fan. Bertha is extremely smart. Bertha is very smart. We're all about progress and change, but let's, call a thing a thing. I was happy here. Once again, Ada showed up. She was like, we're going to go together. We're going to stand together. We're going to be there together. We're going to together. Another thing, which is why I was like, Oscar is old Oscar. Because he didn't even really just make a real play or a real hard one to get Marian here. She, by circumstance, and Ada and Aurora, she happened to go here. You didn't get her here, Oscar. But okay. This was, I couldn't even focus on this. This looked wonderful. I was like, everything just looks so good. Oh my goodness, Sally. It looks so good. And I love how Marian gonna pop out in the look every single time. But yeah, I think that this is something that could come into fruition later for Bertha to say, if you ever decide to step to the left, I have somewhere to step to.
Absolutely, for sure. Because if she's not anything, she's calculating. Even her despair and pain, even in that last scene, she calculating. But we're going to get to it. TNT Bandit, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Daddy Kirkland said, I'm tired of all this caramel. Can we have some chocolate in this family? Please, immediately. Too sweet. Let's do it. But you're right, Tyra.
I'll pass
this. But this what money look like. This what wealth look like. This what when the show got coin. This what this look like, Tyra. Because Mhm. All of
I
that.
just was in awe. I was like, oh my goodness, this feels so grand. What? And this is one of the shows where anything I watch, they say that they keep the budget for this show under tight-lipped wrap. You will never know. We see it. We know when the show don't have no money. Okay, y'all have money.
Money. They got money over there.
They got money.
Tamara Cherie says, Marian looked a mess in that frock. This was her worst look of the season. I
It
literally hated
was.
this dress.
I They tried to make her stand out here because she's the only one. Everything is kind of cascading in these beautiful color patterns to where nobody's clashing. Marion in this like hot pink lace number was picked to make her stand out. It is not her best look, but
mm-mm.
everybody looked good. Like I wasn't even worried about Miriam. Everybody looked good. Baby Gladys looked good. Y'all know Gladys don't be look. Bertha's look, I was like Bertha be pulling up, girl. Bertha so
Oh
good.
yeah, with the bustle and everything, honey. Hats, tea. Like Bertha gonna slay. She got the coin. Now she got the money. The lavender marriage we didn't know we needed. Let's make it official, baby. I got the name, you got the money. Let's do it. Let's do it my way. I got a house out there. When we in the country, you be at your house, I'll be at mine. And then when we come to the city, we do our events together, right? And then we go back to our respective homes. Again, this is a new Oscar to me because this is honest. This is upfront. We both know our T's. Now, what does it say about his character to be with a person like Turner? Not too much, honestly. But I think it's like in this state, in this time, knowing what he wants, who he wants, I think this is probably going to be his only viable option without implicating an innocent. If he gets with any other woman, right? Unless he finds damn Gentleman Jack out there, and I don't know if y'all watch that show, Gentleman Jack. That's that's a whole thing. But unless he finds a good old stud out there who's gonna be willing to do a lavender marriage with him, I think this might be his only option for now. Tyra, what say you?
I'm glad, and I'm glad that he didn't have to be calculated and sneaky and lie to get the lavender marriage we always knew he wanted. And I knew he was going to end up with her. I was so scared. I was like, is she not on the show anymore? We haven't seen her all season. I didn't know where this was going. I thought they wrote her out or something. So I was very surprised and happy to see her here. I was a little like, well, he's like, with my connections, I was like,
Mm,
you put a lot on it, Oscar, because this lady, via that husband's death, she's extremely wealthy. You're
straight.
coming out of this, very thick on the end as far as what you can offer and vice versa. But I do like that they can be honest with each other. You know my past. I feel like as far as honesty and what he wants to wear, and it wasn't like, yeah, business acumen. It's like, well, you can go to your place and I can go to mine. I think that'll open a window of where, yeah, this is a lavender, whatever, a marriage, and it is, in a business sense. But a girl does have needs. What are you going to do when we get there, Oscar? What are
I
you going
don't
to do,
know.
when we get there? Even if it is just as open as it wants to be and they both get to have their ways, eventually it could get to the point of her wanting more. Are you going to say and call a thing, and maybe this transpires into deep friendship to where we know each other's secrets to a whole nother level because now I can confide in you and the new love or whatever in my life and be honest in that way? Or are you going to be landing low and spraying it wide, Oscar?
I mean, I think what's known don't have to be really. I think she know. I think there's a knowing, and we know how flippant she is with that kitty cat. She beard that connects. She threw it. She served it up. She said, "Come get this cat. Come
He
get.
said, oh
Come
my God, put your clothes on.
put it away." That's what he said. Put it up. Put it away. And y'all, I promise I didn't make up Gentleman Jack. That is an actual show that you can watch now. All the episodes are out. If you want to go get some LGBT realness back in this time period, go go over there. Nartha said, I need y'all to I need y'all to
Y'all
review
know
Gentleman
Ashley
Jack.
be pulling stuff out. Let me go look it up because I have
No,
no clue.
girl, you watch that first episode, you're gonna be set for Gentleman Jack. I'm not gonna hold you. It was something to see and something to watch. Same with
Oh, this is on
Lady.
HBO.
Yes, darling. It's it's a doozy. Just saying. Yes, Leslie, Gentleman Jack. I promise. It's something to see.
It always pops up after I finish the episode of Gilded Age. I was like, what the hell is Gentleman Jack?
Yeah, baby. Yeah. 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 But easing on down this road, at the ball, of course, I couldn't let Miss Astor best you. I couldn't let her do that to you, Bertha. But just, this thing has me seeing life a little bit differently now. And I think I know what the next step is. And he looked at her like he looking in this picture, like, you ain't tell me Bertha didn't clock that. Like the way that she acted so
Girl.
surprised the next morning, I was like, girl, you saw that man. Did you put that cougar magic black cat on him last night? No, girl, you knew what this was. Talk to me about this, because I will say you're the mother of a duchess. That one got me the night before, I think, when they're talking and, you've worked so hard and you've gotten here, Bertha. I was like, oh, this is reconciliation. This is what this looks like. But at this night, when he said, I couldn't let them best you. I was going to be here for you for this. But I honestly think that him being ready to run away and through isn't just about everything that she's done up to this point. I honestly think this was about her choosing the ball really over him.
Yeah.
This moment. This was purely selfish on his part, I feel. This was about ego. And do you really even love me, Bertha? Because Gladys, talk to me, Tyra.
Yeah, I knew that was it. We didn't have to get here. I didn't have to see his deep sunken eyes seething. He was literally burning a hole into the side of Bertha's head. And you already knew where he was going prior to us getting here. That moment where even when he said it, he wanted so badly for her to choose him. And it was like, oh no, babe, what ball? I don't care. I'm not, cancel it. And in that moment, it seems like he clicked, like, okay, she's made her choice and I need to make mine. Everything was clicking for him. And I was like, Bertha, no. I literally said, Bertha, no. Bertha, no, girl, you about to lose. You about to lose your husband. Bertha, that is the wrong decision to make. And I was surprised that she made it. I was like, Bertha has learned nothing. Regardless of who Bertha is and how he is just as responsible for his own actions. Where he tries to blame Bertha for majority of it, she didn't force you to do anything. She's not forcing you and that conversation that you had with Gladys to get her down that aisle and down those steps. Nobody forced you into those things. You've been a very willing participant, especially when it benefited you. I think his problem is Bertha isn't an attentive wife. Bertha is all things as far as on, business and the family and the Duke and the play. It's always plotting and planning and getting ahead. There's always a ball. There's always a party. There's always a viable, it's always something with Bertha. She's never satisfied. I think once, like when we meet them season 1 and they're there and they've arrived, he thought that was going to be enough. I finally
Yeah.
got Bertha exactly what she wanted and where she always wanted to be. So we're going to get in where we're fitting. I'm going to make some deals and it's like, no, I want to be in charge. I want to be over it. I want to burn. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to support her. Well, okay, well, maybe this thing. Okay, well, I got her the opera house. Okay, well, I got this. And then I got this. It's like, it's not that. And between all those things, like, where do I fit in, Bertha? I can
Yeah.
barely get any wicked kitty cauldron cat. Okay, I can't get any of that. She guards there like it's the holy grail. We have a lack of intimacy in that way. She's just not present in that way. Meanwhile, Bertha feels like, yes, when we show up as one and we're here, like this is our time together. Didn't we just show up and stun on them? She's still sitting there caring about public opinion. When she okay, I was like, okay, Bertha, he did mention the ball, whatever. When she said, well, if you're like feeling it, if you could get up and make an appearance, I was like, okay, Bertha, that's it. That's it, Bertha. When she said if you could, get up and put that ish on to make an appearance, it would mean, to really shut down those rumors. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to make my decision because it's very evident what you truly care about here in this marriage. And I don't think it's me. I wasn't shocked when we got to where we got. I just was like, Bertha, no. That's all I kept saying. But here we are. I don't know why I expected Bertha to make a different decision, but I did. I thought she was going to choose her husband.
Yeah, I do, guys. I see you in the chat. I don't expect anything good from her, and I wish her nothing but the worst going forward. It'll be like that it'll be that way forever because a leopard won't change its spots, especially overnight. And again, like everyone has said, it's very true. He knows exactly the woman he married. He knows who she is singularly. I do think that he's kind of caught up in this idea, like you said, that if I thought if I gave him what I needed, he would give me what I needed. Like, definitely on his Bernadine, and it definitely never gave that. It never. This is the person that enough is never enough. Like, she's a monster. Just how you are in business, that's how she is in life in general. And I do feel like this was a compounded issue. I think Gladys was a small piece, but let's not be under any delusion. As ruthless and as strong as he is in business, he has that propensity. And if he really didn't want to go along with the plan, he could have relieved Gladys of that burden had he wanted to. Like, he just didn't. Because ultimately it aids him as well, right? Just like she's the mother of a duchess, he's now the father of a duchess and a captain of industry and all of those things. But yeah, I still wish her nothing but the worst. I can acknowledge a thing being a thing. And I hope she gets it real bad. Anyway, let's get to the black ball. Let's get to the black folks at the ball. I got to put me first, Lucius. Let me go talk to your daddy, Mr. Scott. Mama's face was cracked again. Mama Kirkland just went out bad this episode. She said, I thought I had it. Like, I came and I told him, and I told everybody else too. Because Peggy gets in there, they looking at Peggy. Everybody's looking at Peggy. Mama, like, oh, that's her. That's at our Black Cotillion, which was beautiful. Oh, the optics. Oh, it was gorgeous. The dance, the choreography, the gowns, like just everything. Anyway, he walks in immediately, beeline. I need to talk to Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott says, listen, young boy. You know, if you marry my daughter, it's about you and my daughter, not your mammy. Like, let's be very, very clear about all of this. Yes, sir, I understand, but I love Peggy, and I see my life with her. He sees her from across the room, but let's start here, Tyra, because I have slides for each of the steps down the road. Let's start here, Tyra. When you saw him dressed up in his tux and tails, what did you say, Dr. Kirkland?
I said, hurry up, because Peggy's dancing with a fine black man. Hurry up and get over there, okay? Hurry up. I was happy when he showed up. We knew he was coming. We knew, like, come on. Baby Mama Kirkland, when Daddy Kirkland said, girl, I said, no, sit down. Let him have this moment. Let's just let this play out and let him make his own decision. Didn't I just talk to you down at the house? I was happy with this. I did feel a little shortchanged that we had this very brief conversation with Daddy Kirkland. I would have loved to, I want to sit with Daddy, not Daddy Kirkland, but Daddy Scott a little bit more. Just a little bit more sometimes, because I would love for him to kind of atone for, even though he has, but just in a different way, because let's not act like Dr. Kirkland isn't Dr. Kirkland, where you did kind of feel some way and did all that you did to Peggy before, kind of reiterate that, whatever has Peggy in this predicament to where there are glances or your mom does feel a certain way outside of, her skin color and who her family is. I played a part in that, so I need to come. It was very quick. I was like, well, all right. I mean, we only have so many minutes in this. So. But when he went there and it was like he was building up, I was like, oh, okay. He proposed. He came to propose. He said, put it on to make him want to marry me. I said, he came to propose, but get over there and get on one knee all about Peggy. I was very happy with this. I already knew the decision he made because I already knew he was POP holding it down. But to just see the process and it get there, the slow motion of it all, I was like, you better slow the emotion down. Sadly, like, I want y'all to breathe and take this entire scene in and what this means for Peggy, who maybe felt like, I'm never going to be good enough. When she said, I wish I could believe that, Mama. I was like, Peggy is okay. Peggy was like, oh, he came back. He chose me. He understands me. He loves me. Oh, Lord. Girl, the way that Mama Kirkland whole life, them deep melanated brown grandbabies flashed before her eyes. She was like, oh, Lord. She was home, like, faint. Like, she was going, oh. She was just going to pass out. It was like, is he really doing what I think he's doing? Where, of course, Peggy's people are absolutely elated. But the scene was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I loved all of this, absolutely. So much.
Thank you, Northa, for the $2 super chat. Even the dancing at Cotillion was so much better. Listen, it was. But their eyes meet across the room, Tyra. This was the moment, girl. The faltering, the stumbles, I can't believe it, because let's really dive deep into all of this, because the way that his mama had gone about town telling everybody, the world, the worst things of Peggy, right? And they're all in this room. The people that know are in this room, and you know how word spreads like this, especially salacious, especially in the 1800s. The fact that this man said, I don't give a damn about none of that. F all that. I'm going to get down here on my knees in front of everyone, and I'm going to take away this reproach, right? This perceived reproach, because we know what it is, but everyone thinks the absolute worst of her, that she was thrown out of every draw leg and that she got pregnant and gave her baby away. That's the story, the narrative that has been spun. And for him to say, baby, I love you down no matter, listen, from your hair follicles to your toenails, I'll drink your bathwater, is what this gave to me. And her gasping for air, like the drama, the beauty, the decadence of it all. Every woman deserves this, damn it. And I want to see more. I want to see more Black women on screen being loved properly, not struggle love. All right. Not me wading through the water. Not you being a married man, Mr. Fortune, trying to kiss me on the sly. I'm talking about, baby, I know you got a past, but I don't give a damn. I love you down. I love you down, boots, and I don't care who knows it. I'm going to profess my love internationally. My hating ass mama, I don't give a damn. F her. We can move to California because I love you that much, Peggy. And here's the ring. You're worthy. You're all of it. You're all the things you need.
Too. I was like, ooh, can we see? And they showed it. I was like, ooh, Peggy.
It was
Peggy, I love this. I love this for us, Peggy.
Listen, we need this. We need this, y'all. We need this. Black girls need to see this. We don't see this enough, Tyra. It was so moving. It was so special. It gave everything that I needed. I want more. I want more. And for those people in my comments saying she ain't say yes, if you didn't see yes in her eyes, you need glasses. LASIK.
From her. It oozed from her pores. Everything that she did said yes. And I love that just as publicly as the mother shamed her, spread that gossip around town, mostly lies, he made that proposal just as public. I need all y'all to see and recognize who I love. I'm not here to correct nothing. I'm not here to. I'm here to propose. It's public. I'm taking a moment and taking a stance. Like, I love Peggy. And what? Say something I'm like, oh. And then he was tall, girl. He got on that knee. He was still tall. I was like, yes, Dr. Kirkland.
Listen, I needed all of it.
It was great. It was great.
And then you see Mama on the side. I put her there just for you, Tyra, so you can see the look on.
She's like, oh, God. I thought she was going to faint for real. I guess it would have been too dramatic. But she was like, oh, my God. He's bringing that woman of ill repute home to Newport. Oh, Jesus, why? Yeah, that lady's going to give him hell.
Oh, it is. TNT Bandit. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Daddy Kirkland said, yay, more melanin. Listen, he's sick of it. He said, we need some diversity in the family. Lord. Kizzy29, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. As cliche as it sounds, the writer's room makes a difference how Black baby, every single time. When we write us, when we direct us, when we produce us, it's a different, when we dress us, when we do our makeup, when we light us, it's a different experience.
Look how dark complected Peggy is and how well she's lit in this scene. I swear they will shoot some stuff where Peggy absolutely disappears. They'll have her in some gaudy like, come on. We can tell. And I think that they decided to kind of course correct where we had Peggy first season over there with Mr. Fortune. Like, Mr. Fortune, if you don't, Peggy didn't belong over there. This is where we're supposed to be all along. And I think it was a reflection of Peggy being stifled there because she maybe felt like Mr. Fortune or lack thereof, maybe, all she deserved or as good as she was going to get. No, you deserve everything. You are worthy, baby. I was like, yes, mama.
Yes. As a side note, they intentionally are showing Black excellence instead of real Black struggle so that we have something positive. And, I am a fan of telling all of our stories, right? Whether they include struggle, hardship, whatever. But we have a lot of that. That's all we see. That's 90% of what we see. I think we need more illustrations and demonstrations of excellence and of positivity and of true love. For whatever reason, we don't get real genuine love stories where somebody can just be loved. Like, it's always, I have to sacrifice something. I have to do X, Y, or Z to be worthy of said love. And here it's like, no, you're just worthy. I just had to find it, but you've always been worthy. I just needed to find the courage to do what I needed to do. And I thought it was spectacular. Chef's
Yes.
kiss.
Shout out to wardrobe and shout out to whoever is on hair, especially black hair, because we've seen stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Where we see the stuff, Tyra?
No, I'm saying as far as what shows, especially when we get
Oh,
into the time period, what they want to do with black hair. For Peggy and a lot of the texture, we opt for someone like casting. It's the whole thing. They will opt for something that they seem like, oh, that hair is more manageable, or let's just throw that
yeah.
on it. Whether or not that is, and I think that is Peggy's. I think they have Peggy in a wig, but the texture of the wig is always very interesting to me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It makes a difference. It makes a difference because you're right. They're always going to go, whether it's texturist or colorist, whatever, they're always going to make exceptions in these spaces, especially in a period piece. Like any of the period pieces we talk about, you'll see a fairer complected, almost passing, racially ambiguous woman with a certain hair texture that's
Yeah.
demonstrated as our lead. That's just what they do in these spaces. But let's ease on down here to girl. Let's just stay in limbo perpetually. And she says in my little bubble, just like I wanted. I really don't like men anyway. This works for me, Larry, because he says I'm not going down this road with you, sister. We can get to know each other again and see, but. Girl, this is for the birds. Men can't handle that kind of stuff. They be ready to check you out the first sign of stormy weather. Talk to me about this, Tyra. Do you think Marian likes this position? Like we're still kind of talking, but I'm not locked into anything with you anymore.
I wouldn't waste my time. I'm more interested to see who they can become. Like I said, between this two, it was just the expectation because we are supposed to be getting married and we like each other. We maybe love each other enough, but I don't think it ever was enough for marriage. It's never been that. I think we're going to see them really break off into this change in this era kind of being bygone of where okay your business and you're married by this age and you have these kids and this that and the third and the heir and the like no it's not that. How about I just want to go off and be a businessman and have my way. Larry is the perfect one to be running around having his way. Larry
That's
is
it.
the perfect one where you want Jack to be kind of a man about town. Larry is the perfect person to be a man about town and maybe get away from what's traditionally expected from a man in this era. We talk so much about Marion and what she's supposed to do. And even though, of course, as a man, you're licensed to have way more leverage and do as you please. But eventually, even like we see with Oscar, well, baby, when are you? We've been wondering, where's your wife? Where are the children? Where is it? And it's like, well, I may want to maybe do those things later, but I don't want to do those things now. I want to go off and discover the businessman I can be with my dad or whomever else, which is great. And I think the same is for Marion. I thought when they went back, I was like, if y'all try to do a double proposal situation, I swear this is not that. But it's like, we're going to get this here because they're ready for that. And I think they jumped here to show that they aren't.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but at best, we can leave off on not a negative space or not having the friendship that we once had. This could grow to be more, and I'm not saying I wouldn't be interested to see who they are later, but who they are
Mhm.
right now, they don't need to be together. So I was happy for this sendo because I swear I thought he was going to get on a knee and I was going to get really upset.
I'm glad they left it at this too. I thought this was appropriate for where she is always, and where he is. Because let's not sell a dream. Like that's kind of that was
And then,
a
and
thing.
then, if it's not Larry, then who? Let's not act like Larry. Larry isn't a nobody.
No,
And
he's not mine.
I love, and as much as I love Marion, I don't know where she gets the funds to live this lavish life and have this wardrobe. But
And
they're always going to do that. But Marion per se, she doesn't have a lot to offer to a man to where it's like, oh, I want that to be my potential bride. It's very fecal here with what men take precedent over. Okay, I want to take a wife for X, Y, and Z. Marion doesn't have any of those things, and that's why she was beeline that first season, and that man made his choice because he was a social climber. If it's not going to be Larry, if it's not going to be your cousin, the
no, look,
cousin, and it
they
wasn't
swear
that
she
social,
fine. They swear she
like,
fine, Tyra. Sometimes they say beauty is enough, and they swear she fine. They act like Marion be
oh,
fine
well,
over here.
I ain't considered that this whole time. I had
You,
considered Marion's.
you,
Oh,
you
okay, my
know,
bad, my bad.
you
Go to the next
know,
slide. I'm
you
sorry.
know, you know how they. You we know how they do. God bless her. They say that's Meryl Streep's child, so God bless her. Bertha's tears, because I said I was gonna put it in every slide with Bertha that I could possibly. So we sit here. It's the next morning. He said, "Yeah, I'm out of here." She said, "Where are you going? I thought after last night we were." Bertha, are you delusional? You noticed everything else, and you didn't notice this. I don't buy it, baby. Next thing we know, he in the carriage. He outside. He gone. He's rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Out of there, Tyra. She was like, but what about me?
What I
Like,
need. What about me? Everyone about me. She got to go.
yeah, we're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both have the same blood. We both share the same mind, right? Definitely, Gabe, I'm staying and you're going to love me. But he said, not so. He said, no, you're a demon. Like I said, I loved your ruthlessness. I loved it initially because I was the same way in business, but you used that ruthlessness against the people you love. She said, I use it for the people I love. And he said, yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you. I'm out of here. Me and my son are headed back to the boarding house, Bertha. I'll see you when I see you. Peace. And he deuces out. Next thing we see, Tyra, Gladys is having a baby. Mommy? Mamacita? Mama-
Actually, Mamacita?
but talk to me, girl.
Mama
Talk to
mommy.
me about this.
I'm a mommy. What? Mamacita?
Mommy? Mamacita?
Shout out to Love Island. Um, Girl, oh Bertha, we knew it was coming, and this was just another moment to acknowledge how far gone Bertha is in her own desires and needs at that moment. Because with everything going on, she still didn't recognize this transition that he was going through. He had changed; his energy was completely different towards her. He was like searing at her, and it was this quiet, like my mind
Loathing.
is made up. Like I know what I need to do. Like oh my god, and I'm just seeing you now for the first time for who you are. Like, first of all, I already said what I had to say about George because you tried it. I she was. It's just like all of a sudden, like Bertha, Bertha, please. I I can't say I felt like sorry or like oh Bertha because Bertha as well as George because he's not innocent. Bertha brought a lot of this energy her way, and the fact that she didn't think enough of their situation to stop it before it ever got to this point, it was just like yeah, I thought after you gave me what I wanted and came downstairs, everything was okay. Gladys was happy. It's not what you wanted. Gladys is fine. So I Gladys is okay. Wasn't it all about Gladys? Like, what did I do? And that's why I can't like be all 100% with her or George because you have had her in this space to where she can't even recognize these things. Everything was okay. It's more than you. It's more than George said, whatever dreams we have, they're for
For
the
the
family.
family. You're
So
not
go, thank you, go.
you're not going anywhere.
You're staying and taking your
Taking your
share.
share.
And if you get afraid again, crescendo actually, I'll
What
be there.
there?
Our family, like a
Like a
giant
giant
tree,
tree.
reaching
We
out towards the sky. He said, "Dream girls, you gotta go. Lay off that fitness, take the honey and run. You gotta go. You gotta go. I have to go. Like, and it's like you've been left with all these things that have taken precedent, this position and these new titles and these parties and these balls. But what does it all really mean if your family is gone? Like, what now? And I'm just like, what are you gonna do in this big old house? He wasn't even gone, too long before, and it was kind of up in the air. But he walked off like it was gonna be a more permanent situation for however long he feels like he needs to contemplate whether or not he wants to be with her anymore. I wish she kind of laid into him a little bit because he's not ever taking any accountability for the strong role he played into why their marriage is the way that it is. But Bertha, the writing was on the wall, and you decided to throw a ball. I don't know.
And talk to me about mommy. Mamacita? Mommy? Mommy?
Girl, y'all been really getting it in that much? Oh, Come
And
on,
she's
I am
4 months
happy.
pregnant. She's 4 months. The doctor told
She
her to wait till
is.
the
Like, just
second
hold on, hold
trimester.
on. I love this. I was like, yes, Gladys. And even in that way, I was like, Bertha, come on, be vulnerable. Like, this isn't little Gladys where you felt like you needed to protect her from something. People are going to figure it out anyway. Like, I hope that you're not planning and manipulating and waiting. Like, well, George is definitely going to come home now. Oh, baby girl is pregnant. Like, we have, yeah. No, Bertha,
You
go.
know
Remember,
that was the manipulation. That's the manipulation that was in the room with us. She said, "Oh, hurry up! Let me run. That's gonna keep him. That's gonna keep him
that's
here."
gonna keep him. That's gonna keep him here because we have a grandbaby coming. Like, no, girl wanted her. Girl, he gone. Your daddy said. I wanted that because they haven't shared that. It's been so much of Bertha being fully in control of everything, and also so much of her, oh, Gladys, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Like, now Gladys is standing in her womanhood, and she's a mother now. We can confide in that way. I'm scared. Your dad said X, Y, and Z. Maybe you could run interference because you are so like something. It was instantly like, oh, let me go out there, and it's like, oh, George, are you not going to be honest in this moment? Do not think that this baby is going to do anything but make Gladys and the family happen. This isn't something that's going to solidify and save your
Your marriage.
marriage. You have to do the work, Bertha. I know.
She don't want to do no work. She does not want to do any work, y'all. But that's what we are left with. We are left with Bertha's tears on the outset, and that was season 3 of the Gilded Age. Tyra, how do you feel now that it's over? Now that it's said and done? And what's going on this week? What else do we have coming up? Because shout out to the 300 and something of you that are in the building. We appreciate you tonight. It's been amazing. But we're here every night. If you enjoyed the comic stylings of Tyra over at Struggle Reviews and Ashley at My Sweet Perspective, come be a part, subscribe,
Yeah,
hit the
come
notification
on.
bell.
It feels like, what is this? Numbers in your pocket. I remember when it feels it's over now. Used to throw those things away. It feels like 112. It feels too early. The way I could have been cute, like set. I swear I would have been satisfied if they gave us 10 episodes. 10, 8 feels like
Yeah.
an appetizer. 10 feels like a main course. And this is one that deserves it. Like, come on, give us the season. The season has been great. Like, and I think that's what you want. You want a show to leave you wanting more. And I think with them showing up the way that they have in this season, I think the fandom and the show is going to grow so much because it was just so much better. This season it was so good. I'm gonna miss the show. Whatever we put here, y'all, make sure you show up for next week. Um, Tomorrow we will be getting into Game of Thrones season 5. I have never seen it, and child, if y'all could have been there for me watching season 4, it was a problem in the best way. It was so fun. But we will be introducing new things this week, like Alien Earth. We'll be discussing that for anybody who's interested, as well as other things that Ashley has planned too. But be on the lookout for those things Wednesday and Thursday. And of course, y'all know this is also the last week for And Just Like That. And just like that, it's over.
It's over. Praise God. And we thank the Lord for that. We will be doing Love is Blind UK this week, in addition to Outlander, Blood of My Blood. If you need another period piece, come on over. It's an exceptional show. These first 2 episodes were incredible. And we have a live from Saturday that we did. Such a good time. But you guys, again, thank you. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for showing love. Thank you for showing up every single time, not only to the lives, but to my uploads for this. We can't thank you enough, but stick around because there's a lot more going on. We thank you. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Tyra?
Yeah, emphasis on stick around because I know what y'all like to do. Let me sit up when I say this. Y'all like to pull up for something that you're interested in. It's like, oh, they're talking Gilded Age. I love this. And then we don't see y'all until the next Gilded Age. Don't do that. Do not do that. Whatever passion or whatever you thought was funny and fun here, it is present every single time we go live. We give 110. So be on the lookout and also come spend time with us. I love that we've seen so much crossover between sometimes we see y'all and just like that, and you come here and vice versa. Please do not disappear the moment that Gilded Age is over. Thank you.
Absolutely. Arkeko wants to know, are you ladies music teachers? I thought I was the only one who sung everything. Tyra was, in fact, a teacher.
I was not a music teacher, but we're singers once again with everything that we do here. And those are more things that we're going to be getting back into. We are, we might as well be music theater kids, child. We were extra cosplaying. We do all of that. It's a good time here, so stick around.
All of the things. And thank you, TNT, for this $2 super chat. And now you're telling me it's over.
It's
It's
all over.
all over. It is, you guys, but we love you much. Thank you for coming through, and we will see y'all in the next video. Good night.